there, fellas. Sorry, I'm late. Just struggling to deal with fucking TikTok, bro. Why is that shit such a pain in the fucking like it's weird, man. I used to be really good at user interface. Navigate. Yeah, I used to be really good at navigating websites and apps. Great at. Never had a problem really. Never really ever noticed any issues like that. Fucker. Yeah, I never really noticed any issues like that. And then over the recent past, Discord, TikTok, amongst others, bro, those apps can get fucked as far as I'm concerned. Fuck those apps. They have the shittiest user interfaces. The shit is just it just doesn't flow, And those two apps in particular, I have spent so much time, like every time I get on them, I can't find where the bookmarks are, or I can't find where a certain setting especially with Discord. It's like, dude, why does this shit have to be so complex? Why does it have to be so? Why does it have to be the opposite of fucking intuitive, man? What is up with that shit? Like, for real though, whoever designed Discord, they could have done a better job than that for sure. Yeah, I got a banger today. I wanted to talk about anyway. I don't know if you guys, been watching the World Cup. First time I ever have, but have you guys, any of you guys noticed all of uh all of the racism and stuff that's that people are stirring shit up, oh, racism, this and that, like, accusing. I saw one I'll show it to you in a minute, but it was a South Korean woman in the stands, I think in Mexico. Yeah, Mexico. uh, some douchebag Mexican dude in the stands behind her. She was a content creator. Content creator. And she was doing like a selfie or doing a video with pointing at herself. It's fucking this guy that my damn camera to come. I lost the damn OBS window. Pain in my ass. I'm all topsy turvy, turned around and shit at the moment. I'm trying to get the camera. Real though. What the fuck? God damn it. Why? Why can't I get? Oh, I see. Yeah, for some reason it ain't letting my shit up the camera. Fuck my. Like I'm trying to do it how I normally do it, where I pull up alongside the shit. Fucking frustrating. Frustrating to say the least. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk about this fucking racism stuff, and a lot, and FIFA apparently they do a lot of they do a lot of talking about, oh, anti-racism, this and that. But I mean, I guess a lot of people think they are racist, are corrupt, but a lot of people think they are racist. Even though, I mean, I seen they banned that the Mexican guy that did, he did the slant-eyed thing where he pulled on his eyelids behind the South Korean girl while she was on her phone. Dude does that shit, bro, got banned for life, bro. Never can go to a FIFA Cup again or a game again. And he was a Mexican public servant, bro. He got whacked over the head. It was on video. What an idiot, bro. It's all over TikTok. I mean, how stupid do you have to be, bro? Like, way to go, bro. Although, the guy was probably drunk or something, and it just seems to me like, bro, why are we doing this? Why are we going on these witch hunts for people? What bro, it's going to get to the point where nobody's going to leave their fucking houses. Like, no, I'm good. Miss me with that. Not trying to lose my job or go to jail. It just seems kind of ridiculous to me. Okay, there it goes, finally. Wait a second. Huh. Oh, that's right. Yeah, might be. Anyway, I'm pulling up those TikTok videos right quick. So, anywho. I have a few of them. I have a few of them pulled up right here. God. I'm all fucking twisted out of shape.
This is gonna be.
I really am not good at this one either.
Racism is.
I was bookmarking, or I thought I was bookmarking or favoriting a bunch of videos, and then I can't find my way back to them. Can't find my damn way back to them. It really pisses me off, man. Like I see. Makes sense now. Made these actually weren't the ones that I really wanted to look at, honestly. Look at 12 of them. But a lot of this shit, bro, gotta be at the end of this shit soon. Like, how much fucking longer are we gonna have to listen to these people talk about this shit? And these people accuse us of racism. Oh, racism, you're a racist, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, why don't you you're racist too. Who do these people think they are, though? Something's like, for real. Who the hell do these people think they are? Goodness gracious. Oh, my bad, man. Maybe I should have waited a little longer before I came on, because I'm all fucked up tonight. I can't tell. My elbow from my asshole here. I'm gonna go through it. This
Black
one,
player,
bro.
French.
This is the type of shit, because I noticed all these colors. I noticed them myself. I was talking to my little brother about it. Like, bro, what the hell is going on here? The entire French team, bro. You seen the thumbnail, correct? Bro, that's the French team. Not one European amongst the group. Not one. And France is like the most stereotypically European country on the planet. Them and like Germany and England, like, bro. And their entire team is a bunch of eggplant. What the hell, man? Like, dude, what did we do? What did we do to piss the world off? Like, it's so incredible, man. Like, and then they have the gall when people say, what the hell? What's up with the French team? The whole team is black. What the hell? What's up with the Netherlands? 60% of the team is colored. What's up with England? A good chunk of the team is colored. The captain's white, but like the rest of them are colored. You don't see any colors on Japan's team. South Korea's team. You know, you don't. You don't see them. You don't see them on Argentina's team. You know where you see them in Ghana, Senegal. That's where they belong. And I was so proud of Scotland. They showed up with 100%.
It's because Argentina is racist as shit.
Bro, fuck this app. But they showed up 100% Scottish genetics, bro. They showed up with every dude was born and bred Scottish, and so was his family generations back. Straight up, generations back. Bro, this is really pissing me off here. What the hell did I do to deserve this tonight? Like, just getting my chops busted by this fucking app. Anywho, they're all black. But the Scottish, I was so proud of that. I was like, bro, look at England, look at France, look at Germany, look at the Netherlands, and look at Scotland. Representing their people. It would have been a disgrace if they had showed up with some Arabs, Muslims with Scottish accents. Bro. They hadn't been there since 1998. They should be represented by their own people. But anyway, the Netherlands, bunch of black guys. Sweden, bunch of black guys on Sweden's team. You didn't see that on Norway's team. Hell no. You didn't. I mean, there were several teams that you didn't see that on. Eastern Europe, you didn't see that. Belgium had a few coloreds on it. Forget if Switzerland and Austria had any. I'm not sure. Spain, they got some. I want to say Portugal didn't have any. In Spain, they have a Muslim dude on. He's supposed to be the next superstar, and he's a Muslim from like North Africa. And this guy, they won a game the other day, and this dude gets on his hands and knees. I was saying this yesterday, banging his head on the ground. Like Spain, of all places, where the Reconquista happened. Like, bro, what was that Muslim dude thinking? Like, bro, fuck you, man. Do your praying when you get home, dude. It's just like, bro, we have to tiptoe and step around everybody's fucking feelings and but when it comes to ours, bro, dick swinging low. They don't give a damn, dude. They don't give a shit what we think. They praise be to Allah. You never see them apologize for that shit. They rub it in, man. They rub it in. Well, I'm fixing to take their fuck asses down a peg or two this show. Especially these bitch ass motherfuckers talking shit about it. I got something for their ass. These stupid low IQ sons of bitches. They all default to racism. Bro, it's not even racism. It's not even racism, bro. But they're all so fucking low IQ that they don't even think, bro. They just think, oh, he's talking about an African guy. Racist, right? Bro, nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. You're just the racist motherfucker that just jumps to conclusions like that. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the fact that I'm pointing out, why the hell is France black guys? Period. Like all black guys. Most of Europe, all black guys now on the football teams. Like America has more white guys on their team than France. Bro, can you fucking believe that shit? Can you believe this? I mean, I'm like flabbergasted. Like, bro, how is that possible? How is that possible for America to have more white guys than France? I think it's even Germany too. And, the shit just blows my mind though. It's like, and then people, they jump out, racist. Now I see that guy that did the Chinese thing behind that Korean girl. I mean, that's kind of insensitive. It is. She wasn't bad looking or anything. She was good looking, and the guy's just showing his ass. But look at this shit. Bro, watch this.
And you feel discomfort from racism. but you don't want to acknowledge the racism part. So you get a silent discomfort that many people do feel when they refuse to acknowledge something is racist. Because at the end of the day, whether you are the light-skinned Colombian or the dark-skinned Puerto Rican or the tan Dominican, you go over to Argentina, you're going to be treated as a Negro. You're going to be treated as such. And that...
You're going to be treated like you are. Bro, if I go to Argentina, I'm going to be treated like a white man. What the fuck is racist about that? What is racist about being treated like you are? Like, you're black. People treat you accordingly. I'm white. They treat me accordingly. Asians are Asians and they get treated their way. Do you think that you should just be able to go down there and they treat you like a white man? Is that what you're expecting, homeboy? I mean, for real though, is that what you're expecting? Because that's kind of unreasonable. And not only that, but you do the same thing. If I come up in your hood, bitch, you're going to stare, mean mug me and be like, what the fuck you doing here, cracker? So, man, and I'm just tired of this shit, bro. I'm fucking tired of it.
Let me get this straight.
And
Russia gets banned from playing
they're
in the
so
FIFA.
low IQ. These people have not even, the people accusing and attacking and the people like bitches, like cucks trying to defend it, don't even use their fucking brains, bro. It's so disgusting. Here's another one.
Games because of their invasion of Ukraine, which has nothing to do with the
I
players.
want to hear. Hey, can anybody else spot can anybody else spot the seam here where she fucked up?
Let me get this straight. Russia gets banned from playing in the FIFA games because
You guys
of
can
their
hear that,
invasion
right?
of Ukraine, which has nothing to do with the players. That's all the government. But then Israelis are allowed to play in the FIFA games. Russians are not allowed to play in the FIFA games, but then America is allowed to host the FIFA games while they're bombing Iran. How the fuck does any of this make sense? Let me get this straight. Russia gets banned from playing in the FIFA games because of their invasion of Ukraine, which has nothing to do with the players. That's all the government. But then Israelis are allowed to play in the FIFA games. Russians are not allowed to play in the FIFA games, but then America is allowed to host the FIFA games while they're bombing Iran.
Did she not literally just say governments are separate from people? What a fucking moron. Like, bro, these people are so poisoned with this shit. And it's like, dude, these fucking, whoever came up with racism, the white people, that Foucault motherfucker, bro, they handed these people a knife to cut our throats with. That's what they fucking did, bro. They handed all the brown clowns and the virtue signalers a knife to slice our throats, to stab us all to death. And they're going to do it until we're dead. That's how it looks, bro. They're just going to keep killing us until we're fucking dead. Like, one at a time, bro. But is that not insane? This stupid bitch in the same breath says, how is Russia banned from the FIFA Cup? You know, because people aren't governments. And then says, but at the same time, Israel, they can compete and America can host it. Well, yeah, because we're not our governments. You fucking dumbass. How is Iran allowed to? Iran, they're bombing people. They're sponsoring Hezbollah. I'm not a Zionist. Y'all already know. But it's like, look, like your own logic. Do you realize how fucking stupid you sound, woman? How stupid. Matter of fact, I need to comment on this before I pass it. Oh my god, I'm gonna get banned if I throw on the stupid bitch at the end, or stupid witch even. That's, man, it's so whack, dude. And you kind of do have to watch your back on that shit, because I've already been banned once, bro. I think I posted like 5 videos in my life, bro, and got banned. Like the first one, bro, they fucking banned me over like a nothing video. I couldn't believe it, dude. I had to start a new one. Like, bro, it just blows my mind. Blows my fucking mind.
FIFA is dropping their anti-racism, anti-discrimination message for the Club World Cup.
We're going in tonight.
And they've had this message going on, I think, since the 2006 World Cup, and it's been present in every single FIFA tournament. Now, it is quite the coincidence that they would drop this messaging for the Club World Cup being held in...
He was the main man, and he made a big money move, and onside hit.
FIFA...
Decimos
Let me get this straight.
Black player.
I admit.
Black player, French passport, and people
look at
still
that
say
shit.
he's
Look at
African.
all the black
Let me
guys.
say something that's going to make some people uncomfortable.
Bro, and the gall of that dude to be holding the tricolor. The gall. Why aren't you in your old country? And you know, they do feel that way. I was watching Carl Benjamin and they pulled one up where this dude was a brown clown Englishman. And he's like a Ghana fan and an English fan, and they're both in the thing. And he's like, I'm hoping they tie. I'm hoping they tie. I'm a Ghana boy at heart. I'm a Ghana boy at heart. Like, bro, you sons of bitches, man.
They are black men who were born in France, raised in France,
is a white guy on the
trained
team.
by France, who wear the French badge, sing the French anthem, and bleed for France on the world stage. And people
Oh, they bleed for France, do they? They do, huh? How many drops of blood have these fucking these eggplants shed? I'd like to know that. I'd like to get like, a volume figure, a liquid.
I admit, I
Here's another
enjoyed
one.
for a while the videos of European visitors here for the FIFA World Cup just being astonished by the immensity of the United States and also just being impressed by our food,
This is dipshit.
especially our fast food. That was wild to watch. And it was fun to see them get obsessed over ranch dressing. And those that visited our national parks were just wowed by the natural beauty that is in many of our backyards. But I had to stop watching them after
Yeah, I agree,
saw
Chile.
videos beginning to pop up.
It was sad, actually. But you know something? Maybe these European countries, the nations, maybe they'll learn their fucking lesson because the more they chocolate their teams up, the shittier they do. You don't see Argentina doing that shit. No, sir. Everybody else, they're just dying to get some low IQ ape on their team. And it's just like, bro, what are you guys doing? You don't see Japan doing it. I haven't even got to the point yet. I'm just kind of I'm building it up and I'm going to fucking drop the hammer.
On YouTube like these, describing the United States as paradise and heaven like, and just gushing over the hospitality of American citizens. I'm Black American. And so while I
Whatever.
did enjoy these at first, I remember that Europeans are getting the red carpet rolled out for them because they're visiting our country.
Right.
It's just like when guests come over and the fine china and silverware are pulled out and used in the place settings, and everyone is on their best behavior. But
What the
being
fuck
Black
is-
American,
First of all, that's bullshit. Best behavior? People are fucking working, dude. They don't give a shit about soccer. Shut your fucking mouth. You ungrateful, you ingrate motherfucker. You don't like it? You can kick rocks, asshole. You ain't gotta be here. You don't gotta be here. We fucking tolerate your stupid ass. And you repay it. We fucking let you mooch off us, parasite off us. And you fucking have the gall to talk shit because we treat fucking visitors with respect. Like, bro, fuck you. We treat the Africans with just as much respect. The Africans are here too. Y'all see Algeria? That little teeny town in Kansas City? Little teeny mouse fart of a town? The old white guys, oh, we're just so glad for Algeria. Like, bro, that is not, America is not a racist country. Not at all. Like, those people are going to be lifelong Algeria fans. That's a testament to, what good people we are.
in my lived experience, we know the full reality of the United States. And yes, the United States is immense and it has many benefits, but it is a very real place. And it is very complicated, especially if you are Black American. That's just the reality of it.
Really. It's just the reality, isn't it? Yeah. I get it. You know, when you're a black American, a lot of black Americans are shooting your ass, aren't they? A lot of black Americans are trying to kill you. This shit pisses me off to no end. It's like, bro, you motherfuckers kill each other by the bushel. By the fucking bushel. And you have the fucking nerve to talk shit about us, bro? You are the thorn in everybody's ass. You are the hitchhiker in their boot. And you have the stones to come out here and pretend like Emmett Till got lynched yesterday or some shit, bro? Go fuck yourself. How about that? Both of you. Both of you. Like, dude. It sucks in America, does it? It's a real place, is it? It's a tough place to grow. Well, I get that. Yeah. It's because you guys are animals and you just kill each other on wholesale. White people ain't killing black people. Bro, you'd see it on the news. If it ever happened, we would know about it. It doesn't happen. It does not happen. Not even by cops anymore. And these people have the fucking nerve, bro, to come out and say, oh, you haven't seen anything. This is just a facade. This is a front. Like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you know, if they want to strip back the facade, all they got to do is go to Martin Luther King fucking Boulevard in any town in America, and they'll see how real it is. Why don't we have those Europeans walk down Martin Luther King Boulevard in Tampa? See how long they last. See how long they have their fucking car or their bike or whatever the hell. See how long they have that shit. You motherfucker. It's just like, bro, what it is these people, it's not about victims. It's not about this and that. It's about extraction. How can I get something from these people? They're just trying to get shit from us. Sympathy, attention, money, leniency. This guy's the fucking balls to pretend like white people are the problem in America. Bro, you're fucking out of your mind, dude. It's y'all that are killing everybody. You fucking commit literally over half of the violent crimes. You're 13% of the population. And you have the stones to come out and say, oh, they don't know it, blah, blah. They don't know this and that. Yeah, because we didn't send them to Nickville, Spook Central. That's why they're seeing a front. Because they didn't go around your fucking neighborhood, asshole. Golly, these, bro, and they're stupid. They're so stupid. They don't think of this shit. Nobody ever stops and thinks, what is racism? What does racism actually look like? You know, like, how often people, obviously, they don't even ask themselves what that means. Because, with this FIFA shit, I was like, you know, what is racism? And, like, what constitutes racism? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like hate, and I get it. You know, I understand it.
The man,
but most
the man
of
who
it
made
is not hate. Like, especially what I'm talking about. It's not hate. I'll explain. Here's the one with the South Korean. Look at this idiot.
a controversial gesture at the World Cup has been banned for life by FIFA from attending any World Cup-related events. A Mexican fan was filmed making a slanted-eye gesture towards a South Korean YouTuber whilst watching the match. The gesture is...
Although, you know, I will say this too. Bro, he did fucking Chinese eyes. Oh my God. He just photobombed her. He literally photobombed the chick. Honestly, I don't think the guy should have gotten in trouble. He's probably half shit-faced. You know, he's at the fucking FIFA World Cup, half shit-faced, does some dumb shit, and then, like, bro, practically loses his fucking livelihood, never can go to a World Cup game for the rest of his life. Like, what? What? Bro, this racism shit has got to stop, bro. Anytime we're at risk of coming together as people, as humans, you know, the coloreds, the spooks, whoa, 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 we're starting to recognize each other's humanity here. Hang on, hang on. You know, hey, somebody needs to accuse somebody else of racism. We might become friends. We might want to see each other again. Bro, straight up, man. That's practically what it is.
Widely regarded as racially discriminatory in an international context.
She is like a
the video was subsequently uploaded to social media and went viral. Footage.
Bro, I don't understand why would I wouldn't even let that get to me. Like, bro, fuck you. You're just some jackass in the stands. Fuck you. Who gives a shit what that guy thinks? Like, bro, that girl's very pretty. And the South Koreans have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing. And, you know, they could have done that to the Japanese. The Japanese wouldn't have thought, they would have been like, man, fuck you, dude. They wouldn't have thought twice about that at all, dude. And you know what? Guaranteed that South Korean girl didn't say a fucking thing. Guaranteed it was some prick white Karen bitch in America. I'm sure. Or a European. Or maybe some brown clown.
Shows that whilst the crowd was dense at the time and no direct confrontation occurred between the two parties, the gesture was clearly captured and sparked a strong reaction online. A large number of netizens expressed their dissatisfaction in the comments section, arguing that such behavior should not occur at any international sporting event, particularly on a stage as globally watched as the World Cup. Subsequently, the relevant authorities took disciplinary action, confirming that the man would be banned for life from attending such events in response to public demands for fairness and respect.
Yeah, he had to do a statement, shit, because he works for the government, Mexican government.
The man who made a
But, you know, like, did you hear what they just said? This should never be seen at a sporting event, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, why not? Why not? Is this not a free country? Are we no longer a free people? What the fuck, man? You know, freedom of speech, it's like, bro, there's going to be assholes out there that say shit that hurts people's feelings. Well, they're assholes. They've showed their ass. That guy should have just got dragged on social media. Simple as that. That's as far as it should have went. It's in poor taste. It's frowned upon. But this guy, oh, ghost. What's up, Cam? Like, my bad. I was kind of on a rant there, my dude. But where was I? Yeah, the fact that, you know, these people, they're consequences, bro. Nobody got hurt. They act like it's some sort of a, I don't know, man. They act like it's some sort of a like, violence or something. I'm just, it's sickening, bro. It's sickening. It's like, you know, this culture is dying. It's dying because of this shit. Nobody wants this anymore. Nobody cares. It's like, bro, it's not, this isn't helping anybody. The race, constantly throwing racism. Bro, people don't get along. Humans don't get along. Get over it. You know, it's not like there's, you know, we got coons in the damn cotton field or something. Like, what the man? Well, I guess we're just never going to live it down. I mean, maybe we should all just off ourselves. I mean, like, it's just like, bro, when are they going to let us live it down, for fuck's sake? It just, and you know, I just wish I had a bigger voice so I could slap this shit down because it's fucking low IQ. Yeah, that's the last one. But like, there's the ones that I actually wanted to show you guys. They didn't. I said I suck ass at this TikTok. They didn't realize I had to choose the folder, but there's enough of them. I'm pretty sure I could pull them out right here. But there's several more that it's just like, bro, these people. Oh yeah, here's one that Haiti versus Scotland. Check this shit out.
Haiti didn't lose the match against Scotland. They were robbed. There were so many plays where the Scotland players either used their hands to stop the ball or were illegally guarding the Haitian team from the soccer ball. And at one point, one of the Scotland players kicked one of the Haitian players in a manner that per FIFA rules should have rewarded him with a red card. And to make matters worse, the referee for that specific match was suspended in 2025 for making a bunch of bad calls. Now, people have started a petition for the FIFA World Cup to investigate this particular match, so if you have time, please go to change.org where the petition has been made. I am going to try my best to leave a link on this video or in the comments.
Bro, they constantly, they're I had the word on the tip of my tongue, but they're always misrepresenting or they see everything as racism. When you're a, everything is a nail when you're a fucking hammer. Those guys are fierce competitors in the World Cup. It's so pathetic, bro, that these people immediately default to racism. It's like, or how about this? They just want to fucking win the game. Bro, they take, and this is all just them chiseling away at us. They're just trying to chisel away at our culture and everything. And the only way, and they're doing it, but only because our own people in our own culture help them do it. And like,
this South Korean influencer experienced.
I know how to end racism. We need to have the World Cup every year.
I think it's very important to keep the conversation going, to share the emotions, to speak with each other.
What is this guy doing on the Netherlands fucking team? What the hell? What the fuck, man? And here's the Muslim.
Cuando veo a los aficionados de España animándome, siento mucha fuerza y energía para seguir dando todo de mí. Bueno, al final yo creo que el fútbol es un deporte que no entiende de clases, ni de razas, ni de culturas. Entonces yo creo que es un deporte que nos une.
Well, bro, I get it, man. But something? Nations at one point. Nation is another word for peoples. Like they say, remember Aryan nation or not Aryan nation, but that people say nation for a people, for peoples, the Irish nation or the Aborigine nation, or individual groups of people, the Maasai nation, the Zulu nation. That's what nation means. It means a people. People think it means government or some shit. No, it does not. That's not what it fucking means. It doesn't mean system of government. It doesn't mean institutions. No, it means people, a group of people.
This is going to be quite a serious TikTok. Trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about racism in this video, and it's all to do with pro clubs and FIFA. Why I decided to do this was because we played a team last night, and it had some of the worst player names and just the most blatant racism I've seen on pro clubs in a long time. Even then, there is just blatant racism across pro clubs all the time. Really? As you can see,
there was one of the players was called Cotton Pick. The rest of them, Yaya and different goofy names, but they didn't. And then the name of the team is called Nog. And they've got our own people brainwashed into it. That is why this shit is so pervasive.
Our team over here, and we did manage to beat them 7-3. So, fuck you guys in general. Also, I don't think the abbreviation.
Bro, the guy had a racist name for one of his fucking team, one of his players. He named his team Nog. 7-3. That's right. Fuck you, racist. I beat you on the video game. Bro, fucking low IQ much? Like, dude. You fucking eat paint chips as a kid or some shit? Like, bro, because you are a fucking retard.
Is appropriate.
You are a troglodyte.
Iran was knocked out of the world.
You are a troglodyte. There's another, I think this is, no, there was one more that I pulled. I think this is I think Haiti. versus Scotland. Look at this. Look. FIFA no al racismo. Bro. No al racismo. And then the Haitians. That's racist. That's racist. No. It's called a foul. Bitch. It's called a fucking foul. You stupid cunt. Like, bro, these people, whoa. My mind fucking blown from how low IQ and how shameless they fucking pursue this shit. How shamelessly. Bro, the game is over. It was over days ago, and these Haitians are saying, oh, FIFA, they need to come back. They need to correct that. What? The game was over like a week ago. Shut the hell up. Fuck, man.
Can a black person, they can't be racist against.
It just blows my mind. Like, what the hell? And you know, yeah, I have a problem with the fact that all these teams, these nations like France, Germany.
It has come to my attention that Crescencio Somerville, Justin Kluivert, and Julian Timber have all received racial abuse after missing their penalties against Morocco, which is a repeat of probably one of the worst few days of my life. Not only did we lose in the final, but we also had to bear witness to some of the most disgusting and vile human beings say the worst things about these three men.
What?
And if that wasn't...
Bro, so avid sports fans, kind of crazy sports fans, like soccer hooligans and shit, they're known for that. Those guys are now despicable, subhuman, evil, this, that, and the third, because they care that much about football that, like, they were talking shit about the players and they're black, so maybe they called them slurs, I don't even know, but they talk shit about them. They're pissed, right? They're pissed. They're freaking mad. Germany's got their asses beat 3 cups now where they got knocked out in the first knockout round. They're pissed. They are seriously pissed about this. And all these are evil. These are just awful fucking people, man. Because they refuse to take it all in good I mean, it's like in good fun and just, it's FIFA. These people, like, it can't be that these people care about their football team. We never get the benefit of the doubt. Ever. We never get the benefit of the doubt. We are not allowed to have the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Gaffney. That's what I thought too. Yeah, Germany, like them in Brazil, or they have the second most cups of all time. I mean, and they just like abandon their own people for these brown clowns, and they suck. And the reason, let me let the short play through. Right, go ahead and tell y'all what the fuck I'm thinking.
Even bad enough, Jonathan Tah as well has received racial abuse as well. Now, there is like making fun when it comes to having a laugh, but when you go on his Instagram and you see people racially abusing him, what the hell? What's wrong with you people? What aggravates me even more is that Crescencio Somerville has been one of Netherlands' best players in this entire tournament. It's his first ever World Cup, and in it, he scored so many goals, and yet the moment he makes a mistake, the first thing you think about is racial abuse.
These people, let it go, man. Why are you taking this stuff personally? What the fuck is your problem? Seriously. You have real problems. These people have real problems. They act as though white people don't go through the same thing that they do. They seem to think that they have a fucking monopoly on racism or a monopoly on being attacked. It's like, bro, I don't know how many times I've had some spook call me white boy or cracker in my life, and they still do it. Give them an opportunity. Give them an opportunity to do that. Look at them sideways, and they'll knock the shit out of your hand in a store and just go, chimp out, go nuts. and chimp out. Yeah, we don't do that to them ever. We don't ever do that to them. They know that we don't do that to them. But some white guys get all riled up and pissed off at their fucking football team and, dig deep into their bag of tricks and pull up the meanest names that they can think of. And these people take it personally, as if those guys are card-carrying KKK members, as if those guys are ex-slave owners, as if those guys, have lynched a black person. It's like, bro, it's just not going to work, bro. These people, they don't even realize it, but this stupid shit they're doing, bro, they're only making it less cohesive. They're fucking themselves, because you keep going with this shit and everybody's going to say, yeah, we just can't live together because, black people, they take everything racially and personally, everything fucking about sports. They take personally and, race. And, they can't take a joke. They have no grace. They have no class, none whatsoever. Everything gets blown out of proportion, and it's like you're doing yourself no favors. And they honestly, if they had class and grace, they would win us over eventually. Eventually, you'd have to say, they're not that bad, but they're not graceful. They don't have any class. They scream, they yell, they touch, they play with themselves on the beach in front of 2-year-old girls. And not only that, but, the game of soccer or football, first of all, the only reason why they play that game is, well, I guess not soccer, but the only reason why there is a fucking FIFA World Cup, the only fucking reason that they get to play on a world stage is because we set it up for them, because Europe set it up for them, because Europe employs those people from Africa too. Because they don't make any money in Africa. They all go to Europe. So they wouldn't have that. And then on top of that, what the fuck is the point of a FIFA World Cup if every team is just going to be stacked with a bunch of Africans? I thought this was about representing people. I thought this was a representation thing. Where the fuck are the French representatives? Where the fuck are they? This is like tantamount to slavery here. They're not players that get brought up through this, or that want to represent their countries or want to play for these teams. No, they get bought and sold like slaves. Really, the sports teams, that is like basically chattel slavery. But, I thank God that Scotland showed out with Scottish men. Thank God they did that. Bro, I have so much respect for and so much love for that country because of this. So much love for my heritage. France all black team, bro. Can French genes represent French genetics? Can French genetics represent the French culture? Where the fuck is our representation? Where is Europe's representation in FIFA? I didn't see it. France, all Africans. Spain, 60-70% fucking Africans, bro. This isn't about race. I don't give a fuck about those brown clowns. I care about us being our culture, our genetics being represented on the world stage. It's supposed to be a competition between cultures and races. Oh, it's Africa versus Europe, Asia versus Africa, South America, Asia, Africa, North America, Europe, all competing together. And they're like, you have the Middle East, you have the Indians, you have the Asians. Then you have, the mixtures, the Chechens. Bro, they actually were in the tournament. That blew my mind, bro. The Chechens? They're like, it's kind of an obscure country for sure, or whatever it is. I think it's a country. Yeah, they have, yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Well said. Great point. They have no sense of humor, no grace. Everything is an assault on their ego. Everything is your attack. It's personal. This guy, nobody attacked him, but you think they did because they talk shit to a black guy. He takes that personally. You just attacked him. Yeah, Uzbekistan, absolutely. Another rather obscure country, Curacao, for fuck's sakes. The Ivory Coast. And nobody begrudges these African teams the right to represent themselves. But bro, we just keep getting shit on every fucking year, more and more. We just keep getting more and more shit on. And then if we have anything to say about it, shut your mouths. They throw people in jail or they ban them from the cup altogether for the rest of their fucking life. God forbid Mexicans want to see themselves represented by Mexicans. French want to see themselves represented by Frenchmen. And these people, it's like, honestly, it's ruining it. It's ruining the cup. At one point, this was only European. The World Cup was a European thing. The first one was played in 1930. I mean, Argentina and Uruguay were in it, but, some South American teams, but no African teams. And nobody begrudges them their representation. All the different, Cape Verde made it into the knockout rounds. Who the fuck is Cape Verde? Or I know where it is. I seen it the other day. Somebody pointed out, but all these countries, nobody begrudges them. Go for it. You got Brazil. They're a multicultural thing like us. All these different countries that are the ones that are multicultural. That's cool. Like Black people in America, I got no truck with them. Hell yeah. They can come out, they represent themselves. Since the beginning of America, they have been a population here. And they have, like I've just did a lot of talking shit about them, about the four-eyed one that was like, oh, America, it's so this and that, and the Europeans aren't really seeing it. But but like I don't begrudge them the right to represent themselves. And I think, it is, at least here it's by merit. We know that the black guys earn their spot on the team and the white guys earn their spot on the team. We know that. Or, I mean, let's hope so. And that's fine. Same thing with Brazil. Nobody has an issue with Brazil, being, doing their thing. Yeah, Uruguay won the first one. They didn't win the second, but they won the third one, I think, right before World War II. But, it's like, also, I keep seeing black people talking, like attacking Argentina. Because they don't have any white or black people on their team. It's like, bro, black people get so butthurt when they're not the champion of a sport. It's so pathetic, man. It's so fucking pathetic. They have nothing else. Nothing else. So they get all indignant and bitter when they don't dominate every sport. They're so used to just dominating every sport, and they get all butthurt if they're white people are better than us at something. Like, bro, they're like gnashing their teeth, and it's that stupid meme with the guy's crying. Like, just, bro, get over yourself. Get over yourselves. In Argentina, I keep seeing these TikToks where they're like, yeah, Argentina once had a large black population, but because of wars, they drafted all the black people and let the white people sit at home on their couches. And then another one was like, oh, they had diseases and the white people were allowed to evacuate and the black people had to quarantine. Bro, that's such fucking bullshit. I don't believe that shit for a second, bro. These brown clowns, bro, they will, don't put it past them. They will absolutely make bullshit up. You've seen him with Carmelo Anthony, bro, the psychotic shit that they were making up. He fell on a knife. What? It's outrageous, bro. And honestly, they betray themselves, really, because it's so pathetic.
Woke up, you deliver again. You're so beautiful. So many beautiful and powerful stories, but maybe none more powerful than what FIFA, the governing body of the World Cup, has done in 2 instances of racism. FIFA has signs all over their fields, all over the fields in the sports that they, or in the sports games that they govern, that say no racism. And FIFA actually puts their money where their mouth is. We've had...
Bro, nobody else thinks it's like, it's scary that our entire culture cares. Like, bro, let you commit a racism in our culture. Holy shit. But let a fucking Arab or a Muslim rape a little white girl in Britain. And a white guy say something about it. A white guy wanting something done about it. That is literally the fucking that's literally what they focus on. They don't give a shit about what the black guy does. But you know, you've transgressed if you're a white guy and you have a problem with your daughter's being raped by Muslims, or being stabbed by Africans, or being jerked off, or, you know, having your daughter, your 2-year-old daughter, standing in front of a black guy and him whipping his cock out and jerking off. Like, bro, what the hell, man? And do they just, like, bro, how could we ever assimilate? How could we ever actually become cohesive with this? How could that ever happen? You know, it's like, honestly, it looks like they have absolutely no, they're not looking for cohesion. They're not looking for assimilation. It's like they've kind of just dropped pretenses. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking to victimize white people. They want to kill, hurt, stab, rape, and you know, just victimize white people. And then if they say something about it, you victimize them a second time. You victimize more. It's like, no matter what happens, only white people get fucked. Straight up. White people get fucked no matter what happens. Yeah, no, you're right, dude. You're absolutely right. Yeah, the fucking gullible, bleeding hearts. And, you know, like I said at the beginning of the stream, bro, these people put a knife in these motherfuckers' hands to slice our throats. Because that's all they do. That's literally all they do. Every day, all day. They don't say anything unless it's racism. They don't feel the need. They don't want to say anything. They don't stick their head up for anything until they have an instance they think of racism. Then, bro, from the fucking rooftops. And they demand heads roll. Man, it's like, bro. I think he's going live. He sent out his thing 5 minutes ago. But, you know, like, bro, why can't we have representation? Why? What the fuck, man? Why is it only spooks get representation? I'm so fucking pissed off about this shit. Hmm. What an idiot. This shit literally just hurts us. This movie, it hurts us. It keeps this shit fresh in people's mind. It makes them worry and fear that something like that's going to happen. We haven't done anything, but we're going to get shit for this. Fucking idiot. And we'll be right back. Oh shit, my bad. My bad. I thought I had it pulled up. My bad. Fuck. Fucking, I'm just like blowing my top and shit.
And they had all these typical tropes, and they were directed for a black audience. So you have based exploitation movies. They're directed at based people. They're movies that are meant to be based and consumed by based people. And listen, it kind of does the trick. So we'll talk all about the movie. I'll give a little review. We'll talk about what's in it. It's going to be a good show. I got to be honest, it is so fucking hot in this city. I'm in a really bad mood. Okay, so no promises about the quality of the show tonight or this week. It's so hot in this city. I'm going to kill somebody. Like, I'm going to become citizen vigilante. Not actually. Okay, but I want to. It is so hot in this city. It's so hot in this stupid fucking house. It's like 90 degrees in here. There are 2 AC units currently running. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's not cool in here, but I'm already sweating and I'm just really in a horrible mood. Like, I don't want to be here right now. I don't want to do a show right now. I know you're not really supposed to say that. It's like not really putting your best foot forward to say I don't want to be here right now, but I would literally rather be anywhere else because I'm in this wool suit and I'm already covered in sweat. So I'm really mad. Like I'm steaming, like steamed coral right now. But anyway, before we get it, I just want to give you a warning. I've already had it up to here, and we're about 5 minutes into the show. I had it up to here before I started the show, but it's okay. Before we get into it, I want to remind you to smash the follow button on Rumble, smash the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Check out our merch store at Fuentes.store if you want to support the show. Subscribe at AmericaFirst.plus. $15 a month, you get access to the archive. $100 a month, you get to be in the group chat with me. I was in the voice chat this weekend for hours and hours and hours talking about lore and talking about politics and beef and drama and all kinds of things. So if you want the inside baseball, if you want to hang out with me, check out the $100 a month club group chat at AmericaFirst.plus. What else? The other thing I wanted to talk about briefly before we get into the news. Have you seen what happened to Matt Nuclear? We did a show last week about Daily Wire. There was a major piece in Semaphore about how Daily Wire is totally imploding. Revenue's down, subscribers are down, views are down, everything is down, ad revenue way down. And they're talking about how Daily Wire is trying to bring in $100 million in strategic investments from outside firms to try to reinvigorate the company. And they said that one of their big plays to try to get Daily Wire back on track is to hire some emerging talents to start new shows. They said they have a plan to bring on 6 new hosts, and this is part of their business strategy to get to I believe it was a $2 billion valuation within 18 months. And I guess one of those emerging talents is a 19-year-old black kid who goes by the alias Matt Nuclear. He was made somewhat famous by his appearances on Jubilee, and he's a glorified DEI diversity hire. You see it all the time. Republicans have never met a black conservative kid that they didn't want to give a job. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter if you're talented. It doesn't matter if you're good looking. If you are a young minority, if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Middle Eastern, if you're Asian, let me tell you the easiest way to make money by doing very little work. Pretend to be a conservative on the internet. And Republicans and movement conservatives, they will literally line up around the block to offer you a job to do nothing other than be a minority in the GOP. It's the easiest thing in the world. And so such is the case here. They found this 19-year-old ugly black kid. I think it's literally the ugliest black kid they could possibly find. I don't know if it's possible to find an uglier black kid. I guess those like black retards on TikTok that do the anime voices, I guess they all aren't conservative enough, or maybe they got another gig or something. Maybe they weren't interested. So they literally went out and found the ugliest black kid they could possibly find. And he's doing and the only one that doesn't hate Israel also. They found the only American under the age of 42 that doesn't absolutely hate Israel and Jews. And they said, hey, would you like a job at Daily Wire? And so they brought him on, and I think they brought him on like 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago, they did a trailer for his brand new show, Matt Nuke.
Hang on, I just wanted to show you guys this shit right quick. Check this out. This is fucking wild.
And, you know, they are, in a lot of ways, the pride of Asia. They're only one of two teams that made it out of the group stages from the Asian Confederation, them and Australia. And Australia, not really Asian.
Bro, what the fuck, man?
Cancel me.
What the fuck? It's okay for him to say that shit, but when we say it about a bunch of spooks on France's fucking soccer team, we're the bigots. Well, fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Nuclear, the 19-year-old
fucking brown clown sons of
head
bitches.
is shaped like an acorn. He's got an afro. And get ready for this. He's going to attack socialism and anti-Semites. This is going to get us to a $2 billion valuation, they said. Well, I understand the kids don't like Ben Shapiro and his yarmulke anymore, and nobody's biting on Andrew Klavan and Michael Knowles. Well, get ready for the ugliest niglet you've ever seen, 19-year-old Matt Nuclear.
And you know, homeboy's right. Australia, they're not Asian. And spooks from Africa, yeah, they're technically not fucking Europeans. At least the Australians aren't stealing an Asian man's rightful spot.
To defend capitalism in the state of Israel. They bring him on, and very quickly, it's a complete disaster. His Grok chat leaked. You know, Grok, the AI chat program. His conversations with Grok leaked on the internet in the past week, and this dude is in like a friendship with Grok, talking to Grok about his life, talking about how he doesn't leave the house.
What up,
relatable.
Alex?
Bragging to Grok about his Daily Wire contract, and Ben Shapiro liked his tweet, and aren't I doing well for a 19-year-old? I already have a job at the Daily Wire. And this kid has been ritualistically humiliated on the timeline for the past week. So much so, he hasn't done a single show in an entire week. His YouTube channel has been wiped. He hasn't done a single show. Matt Nuclear is nowhere to be found. And the ill-fated emerging talent has already seemed to have been put on hiatus by the Daily Wire. And I gotta be honest, I saw this whole thing go down, and I feel a little bit bad, because he's 19 years old. He's a kid. He's a teenager. I feel a little bit bad for him. At the same time, the irony should not be lost on anybody. I was driving around the other day, and I was just thinking about the story, and it dawned on me. I was 18 years old. Daily Wire was considering giving me a job. But Because I was anti-Israel, I got attacked by Ben Shapiro, and then his army of pro-Israel orbiters attacked me on the timeline every day for weeks until the left wing wrote a hit piece about me. And they set me up. They leaked private conversations with people I met at the Leadership Institute. And I was absolutely canceled before my 19th birthday. And I realized the exact same thing happened to Matt Nuclear, but in reverse. 19 years old, gets hired at the Daily Wire, and because I gave the green light to the Groypers because he was pro-Israel, not because he was anti, but because he was pro-Israel, all the Groypers went after him, got the grok chats, found some other bad stuff about him. I'm not even sure if it's real or fake. The Bulwark, a left-wing publication, did a hit piece about him. And now he's totally canceled. Now he's totally a laughingstock. He's been absolutely humiliated. And now I feel a lot less bad for him. Initially, I felt sorry for him. I said, he's just a young guy. I feel sort of bad for him. He's like this ugly black nerd, just getting clowned on by everybody. He's a total lol cow. But then it dawned on me, wait a second, Shapiro did the exact same thing to me when I was 18. However, doesn't it show how much things have changed in just 10 years? I guess that's kind of a long time. But it just goes to show how much things have changed that now the up-and-coming talent they're looking for is Zionist, and the conversation is so the other direction. You can't make a career for yourself if you're pro-Israel. Now, don't get me wrong, you still get paid. When I was 18, I got banned from everything, and I was making no money, and I had to be on YouTube and try to make a living off of super chats, and I was censored from everything. This guy's making $8,000 a month getting no views for Daily Wire because they found the one Generation Z guy that doesn't hate Israel. So don't get me wrong, you still make a living doing that, but nobody's buying it. Not like they used to be. So I have to say, that might be a little bit of a white pill. When you see that we're clearly through the looking glass, it's a little bit of a white pill. It's another one of those litmus tests where the conversation is. The old Matt Nuclear, yeah, that didn't last very long, did it? Yeah, didn't go so well. Somehow I don't think that's going to be their ticket to a $2 billion valuation. Seems a little bit ill-conceived. Matt Nuclear. And I swear, he's the spitting image of Robert De Niro's kid that he had with his black wife. Spitting image. It's all these sneakos that are out there, man. It's all these like mixed race sneako types. I mean, no offense, but this is not a recipe for an aesthetic young man. If you want to have aesthetic kids, white people got to stick with the white people. Then again, I don't know what Matt Nuclear's parents are. I don't know if they're both African or what the story is, but he looks like the mixed race daughter, I think. I don't know if it's a girl or even a boy, but he looks like the mixed race child of Robert De Niro. And it never seems to work out very well. So anyway, so that's Matt Nuclear. It's too bad. So sad. That one didn't last very long. When's the next emerging talent? I'm really excited. Give us the next one. The Groypers are hungry. Where's the other emerging talent? Bring them on. You got anybody else? What else you got? Shapiro, everybody sees what you are. Andrew Klavan, everybody sees what you are. Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles, two race traders. Two Shabbos Goy race traders that have betrayed white people and Catholics. What else you got? Matt Nuclear, he's finished. Next. I want to see the next emerging talent. I want to see what's the other one going to be. But anyway, I do want to move on. I want to get into our news for the night. Sort of a slower day. But our big news for the night is all about the Supreme Court decision on birthright citizenship. You might remember that in January 2025, the day that Trump was inaugurated, he signed an executive order overturning birthright citizenship. And as you know, the way it works in this country is that anybody who is born on the soil of the United States of America automatically becomes a citizen, and they get all the rights enjoyed by anybody else that lives here. Whether their parents are citizens, no matter how many generations they've gone back. It doesn't even matter. Literally, if you are born on the land, you have full voting rights, you are entitled to Social Security and all the other benefits conferred upon you by citizenship. And this has given rise to a very toxic and bad incentive structure, particularly birth tourism and illegal immigration. If you are a foreign national, whether you're wealthy or whether you're poor, because of this perverse incentive structure that's been set up, it would behoove anybody, no matter what country you come from, again, whether rich or poor, to come here when you're pregnant so that your children will be born on the land and they'll enjoy all the benefits of U.S. citizenship. And so it's become very common for...
Because they know they know that they have an escape out of their shithole communist nightmare. They're like, oh, well, we got money. We'll just go to America, and we know our kids are guaranteed. They'll either, no matter what happens, we will have a safe haven for our family. If the West collapses, oh, they're safe in China or Russia. If China or Russia collapses, oh, they're safe in the West. It's fucking diabolical, man. Our elites, anything for a buck, man. All they give a fuck about is money. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about people, family, genetic. They don't give a shit about nothing but greenbacks. It is so despicable. It's a backup plan. Why wouldn't they do it? Why wouldn't they do it? If you know what, we're the stupid people that actually let people do that. So everybody in the world, everybody and their brother can just, if they have the money, they can come to America, have their kid, boom. They're fucking they're literally, they got their foot in the door if they're, and we're just the fucking suckers, the ducks that let our government do that to us. We're the fucking idiots. And, half of our country, they think it's helping us. They think that we're benefiting from it. They're happy about it. Maybe, you mean for sure.
Idea if anybody that was born on the land could become a citizen? The 14th Amendment comes by way of the Civil War. It was part of a series of 3 amendments to the Constitution, which were ratified in the immediate aftermath of the Civil War, which were meant to address the particular circumstances of the freed slaves after the conclusion of the Civil War. The 13th Amendment ended slavery. The 14th Amendment...
Slavery never ended, man. It just became, it wasn't lucrative anymore. You couldn't make money owning people. You could make more money by hiring them and paying them a little wage. But really, America, since our inception, we have been in love with slaves. We had slaves until the Civil War, and then they were like, this shit is kind of expensive. We could just bring immigrants here that feel lucky and grateful just to be here, and we'll just pay them a slave wage. That way we don't even have to concern ourselves with feeding them or any of that shit. They get hurt, it's on them, not us. Really, and yeah, we've just maintained this fucking slave culture, this slave class that our women were the slave class from the 60s to like the 2000, and now it's brown clowns again. And it was Europeans before the women.
Which is where birthright citizenship is enshrined, was ratified so that the people that were freed from slavery would be grandfathered in as citizens. And it said all these people that were in legal limbo, people that were slaves, now are freed. Question is, what are they legally to the government? 14th Amendment says, well, it doesn't matter if they were born as slaves and are now free, because as long as they were born on the land, they are now citizens. And so this was a sloppy way in the U.S. Constitution to figure out what we're going to do, what is to be done about all these people. It is part of a series of 3 amendments, 13, 14, and 15. What do we do with all the freed slaves after the Civil War? And it said, well, as far as their legal status is concerned, we will consider that if they were born on the land, it doesn't matter if they were slaves at that time or free men, they're now going to be citizens. That was the point of that provision of the 14th Amendment. And of course, since then, the situation has changed. Since then, in the mid and late 19th century, you've had huge waves of immigration, and then there's the Ellis Islanders, and then there's Hart-Celler and the 1990 Immigration Act. We've opened the floodgates to massive amounts of foreign nationals coming here for various reasons, and this has incentivized people to come here illegally or for other reasons, and they're taking advantage of this provision. So when Trump was elected, it was one of his promises that he would overturn birthright citizenship. But you have to understand that in order to do this, there's a few ways you could go about it. Since it is enshrined in the Constitution and was interpreted by the Supreme Court in the late 19th century, there are one of 3 ways that we can go about getting rid of this. You can pass a law in Congress which says people born on the land are no longer automatically citizens. So there's a federal statute. You can pass a law in Congress. The obvious way to go about it is you can amend the Constitution. You either have a convention of states or it's a supermajority in Congress. There's 2 ways to ratify a new amendment in the Constitution. You could address the language in the 14th Amendment and clarify it in a 29th or 28th or 29th amendment. That's another way. And then the third way is you could catalyze a Supreme Court decision on that provision in the 14th Amendment. You can either have a federal law or you could have, in this case, an executive order, force the Supreme Court to consider this issue, and then it would give the Supreme Court an opportunity to create a new interpretation of the 14th Amendment and maybe redefine it in a different way. Those are the 3 ways you might go about it. Obviously, amending the Constitution is the most rock solid, but also the most difficult. You're never going to get a constitutional convention. You're never going to get 3/5 of the states to approve of something like that because the constituency just doesn't exist for that right now. Federal law would be equally as tricky because you need to go to the Senate and you would have to get a supermajority or 60 senators, 3/5 of the Senate to vote on this. And I don't even know if you'd get every Republican to vote for that, let alone 7 Democrats on top of the Republican majority. So that's probably out. And even then, it might be challenged by the Supreme Court anyway. And then the worst way that you could go about it is with an executive order. And the reason that's the worst way is because when you consider the issue legally, you have the Constitution itself, which says, according to the 14th Amendment, if you're born on the land, you're a citizen. So you have an executive order, and understand what an executive order really is. It's really a memorandum. All an executive order really is, it doesn't actually exist in the legal code. What an executive order does is it directs the federal bureaucracy under.
It's the president saying to the government, hey, this is what we're doing going forward. We're doing this. This is the rule. It's not a law. It's basically a rule that the president sets.
The executive branch to carry out the existing federal statutes with new guidance. So what does this executive order specifically say? It says, stop giving citizenship to people that are born on the land, but their parents aren't citizens. It's a guidance for the executive branch and how they're administering citizenship services. It's really more like a memo. That people need to understand that's how the federal government works. The Congress legislates, and what is it to legislate? Write the laws. Congress writes the laws. The executive branch executes the laws. How do they execute the federal statutes? With the departments and agencies in the federal bureaucracy. And what the executive branch has is the discretion for how they're going to interpret and then execute the laws given to them by the legislature, according to the federal statute. So what is an executive order? Trump is saying, well, we're going to take the existing federal statute and we're just going to we're going to, at our discretion, change how we're applying it. So don't give citizenship to these people anymore. That's really what it says. So you've got a constitutional amendment, which is basically the expression of the sovereign people of the United States. Constitution's the supreme law of the land. It is from where the federal government derives all of its powers. You've got an amendment versus this memo from the president to Homeland Security and Immigration Services. Obviously, the constitutional amendment outweighs that. But you also have a Supreme Court interpretation of the 14th Amendment in the 1890s. This was considered in the 1890s by the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said if you're born on the land, you're a citizen. So you've got the Constitution itself, and you've got a Supreme Court ruling. You also have at least 2 federal statutes that also say if you're born on the land, you're a citizen. So you've got an executive order, which is, again, like a...
You know, it just occurred to me about that FIFA shit. I don't know if you guys ever saw Inglourious Bastards where Goebbels is like, you know, the American, they can measure their Olympic gold with Negro sweat. And I was just thinking to myself, you know, all of these European teams and all these spooks on them, bro, they've been jealous of us and our thoroughbreds for years, decades. They were dying to field a crop of spooks on their teams, man. They've been dying for that since World War II, man. As soon as they brought in, you know, a pack of apes, right on their national teams, they went.
Glorified memo going up against an amendment to the Constitution, a Supreme Court decision, and 2 federal statutes from Congress.
SEMO
it was never going to stand a chance, and everybody knows that.
Shit.
Now, that did not stop people last year from celebrating as though it was a done deal. I remember, because I've been doing this show for 10 years. So I remember on January 20th or 21st, 2025, when Trump signed hundreds of executive orders on day one of them was overturning birthright citizenship. And I remember that day very well. I remember that entire week. I remember all the Trump supporters were celebrating as though it had happened. Trump signed the executive order, said birthright citizenship is over, and everybody said, we won. Birthright citizenship is over. It's a done deal. And I remember thinking at the time, obviously, this is going to be challenged by a federal court, and it was. It was challenged by, I think, 38 different states. It was challenged by a significant number of states. It was stopped with an injunction from a federal judge, and then obviously it worked its way up to the Supreme Court. I said, what do you think is going to happen when the Supreme Court considers the issue? Is the Supreme Court going to overturn the 14th Amendment and a decision from 1896 and 2 federal statutes because of a memo? No, just on procedural grounds alone. Forget about the merits of the argument. Should we have it? Should we not have it? On procedural grounds alone. The Supreme Court will say, if you want to change this policy, amend the Constitution, pass a law through Congress. An executive order isn't enough. I said that much is obvious. And I said on my show, and the clip went a little bit viral today, I said on my show on January 21st, 2025, I said, it's going to get challenged. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. I said, and then it's going to get struck down because of the composition of the court. I said, do you really think that Chief Justice Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett are going to vote to overturn birthright citizenship? Justice Roberts is a moderate. He's barely even a conservative anymore. And Amy Coney Barrett, she's got 2 adopted kids from Africa. She is a woman. She is a Catholic, which sadly increasingly means liberal. And she's got 2 adopted kids from Africa. You think this woman is going to overturn birthright citizenship? It's never going to.
Women couldn't do that. There isn't a white woman in America that could bring themselves to do that. I mean, honestly, you know, their feelings mean too much.
Happen. And sure enough, that is exactly how the decision came down. It was Justice Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett that said, this is unconstitutional and it's against federal law. Roberts and Barrett, and then Kavanaugh in a separate procedural decision, but it was those 2 plus Kavanaugh in 2 separate decisions that shut it down and said birthright citizenship is upheld. There is no challenge to birthright citizenship. It stays.
Whatever.
And this is a story from the New York Times. We'll work through it and talk a little bit about the specifics. It says, quote, the Supreme Court on Tuesday struck down President Trump's executive order limiting birthright citizenship. Chief Justice John Roberts, writing for the majority, explained that Mr. Trump's executive order violated the 14th Amendment, which says that children born in the United States to undocumented parents or to parents temporarily in the country, or rather, this is his decision, not the Constitution. He wrote that children born in the U.S. to undocumented parents or to parents temporarily in the country are citizens at birth. The Chief Justice was joined by the court's 3 liberal justices, along with 2 fellow conservatives, Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh wrote that he would strike down the executive order based on federal law, not the Constitution. In a social media post after the ruling, the president called the Supreme Court's decision too bad for our country. He said, yeah, that's a shame.
None of these people actually
3 of the court's conservatives, Justice Clarence Thomas.
Bro, does anybody think one of these fucking judges would do that? You guys think it's a coincidence? Like, dude, they wouldn't do this. Hell would freeze over before Clarence Thomas, before Gorsuch. They would not do this. Never, ever would they do this. That is this country's bread and butter, is cheap labor, cheap foreign labor. We've been doing it since we've existed, bringing in cheap foreign labor. They used to be white, now they're coloreds. They don't give a damn. They just want cheap labor, fodder for the fucking gristmill.
Thomas, Justice Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch dissented.
And we get to live with them.
In his 91-page dissent, joined by Justice Gorsuch, Thomas said that the 14th Amendment was intended to enshrine citizenship for formerly enslaved people and their descendants. He wrote, blacks were entitled to citizenship because they were Americans. They had no other homeland, owed no allegiance to any foreign power, and were subject to no other authority. The same cannot be said for the children of foreign temporary visitors who were attached to their home country, lacked similar bonds to this country, and would not be called upon in time of war. Justice Alito called the decision a serious mistake, writing that the court's view of the Constitution confers citizenship on virtually everyone who happens to be born in the country, including the children of birth tourists, people that he characterized as women who come here solely for the purpose of giving birth to a child and then promptly returning home. So let's talk about the decision specifically. It's a 6-3 and a 5-4 decision. 6 out of 3 justices said that the executive order is contrary to federal law. So the 3 liberal judges, Sotomayor, Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson, plus Chief Justice Roberts, Amy Coney Barrett, and Brett Kavanaugh, all 6 of them said this is against federal law. There are 2 federal statutes that say that anyone that's born on the land is a citizen. And what that would mean, according to this decision, is that if you overturn the federal law, if Congress passes a new law, then you can change this policy. 5 out of 4 justices, so it's the same majority minus Brett Kavanaugh, said it's against the Constitution. And that would mean that in order to change this policy, you need to change the Constitution. So a broader majority, 6 out of 3, with Kavanaugh say, you want to change the policy, got to change the federal law. This executive order goes against the federal statutes. If you want to change the policy, you got to change the federal statute in Congress. You need an act of Congress. 5 out of 4, minus Kavanaugh, say it's a constitutional matter. The executive order goes against the Constitution. If you want to change a policy, you need to amend the Constitution. So what this means realistically, so let's think about this. Let's think about the majority. You have the 3 liberal judges, and of course, they're going to uphold birthright citizenship. They're liberal. And so they're going to interpret it according to their liberal ideology. And Ketanji Brown Jackson, she wrote in one of these opinions, she wrote that the Supreme Court understood the assignment when they initially interpreted it in the 19th century. That's literally in her decision. She writes, they understood the assignment. That's written now in the record of the Supreme Court for all of history, that they understood the assignment. This is what happens when you put black people on the Supreme Court. I really shouldn't say that. You have Clarence Thomas, he's amazing. But this is what happens when you put, I guess, a black woman. She writes, okay, he understood the assignment. Like, that's now in the record of the Supreme Court for all of American history. But you got those 3 liberal judges. Now, in the decision which says that it goes against the Constitution, you had 2 conservatives joining in the majority, Thomas and Amy Coney Barrett. A 5-4 decision.
Hey, just so you guys know, yes, you know, there are, in South America, there are only, like, you know what the 2 most prosperous countries are and what their genetic makeup is? Uruguay and Argentina, because they're European. So they actually are prosperous. They actually live well. Literally the only 2 white countries in South America. And look at their GDP. It's like head and shoulders above the rest of the brown clowns with low IQ.
Now, what that means is that if one of those votes went the other way, then that means we could have probably changed the federal statute.
And that's why they played in the World Cup in 1930. The World Cup was originally a European tournament. That's what it was, because all those countries in Africa, they weren't even countries yet, practically. They were colonies. But Uruguay and Argentina, they both participated in the 1930 World Cup, along with we did too.
Birthright citizenship against the law. If just one of those votes went the other way, it could have been the 3 liberals and Justice Roberts. And if Amy Coney Barrett went with the other conservatives, that would mean there would have been a 5-4 majority saying that you could overturn birthright citizenship in the federal law, and there would be a call on the legislature to do exactly that. If 2 of the conservatives in the other decision went the other way, like let's say Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh, then birthright citizenship would have been overturned. Period. End of story. It would have been overturned in the federal law. It would have been overturned in the Constitution. You would have no more birthright citizenship in America. And what is so painful is that those 2 judges in both of those decisions were both appointed by Trump. Your 6-3 decision comes by way of Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, both of whom were Trump appointees. If they voted the other way, it would have been 5-4 in the other direction. The 5-4 decision comes by way of Amy Coney Barrett. If she voted the other way, it would have been a 5-4 in the other direction. If Trump, who had 3 Supreme Court picks, he nominated Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. If he had simply appointed 3 good justices that were as good or better than Sam Alito and Clarence Thomas, birthright citizenship would be over. So who can we blame about this? Think about it. You had a Republican president, President Trump, who was empowered throughout his first term to appoint 3 Supreme Court judges. You had a Republican Senate for all 4 of those years in Trump's first term to confirm those judges. You have right now a 6-3 majority on the court. You have 2 very conservative conservatives and 3 Trump appointees. That's a 5-4 majority. And you have Trump as president all over again since 2025. What more do the Republicans need to carry out our vision for the country? Think about it. 3 Supreme Court picks, a majority on the Supreme Court, the Republican Senate confirming, the Republican president nominating. You have a Republican Congress right now. You have a Republican president sending up the executive order. Literally, what is the excuse not to overturn birthright citizenship? Who do we have to blame? Steven Crowder, Jack Posobiec, Benny Johnson, John Doyle,
They're
all
liberals.
these people.
Every one of those guys, a fucking wet noodle of a liberal. Straight up, bro. Steven Crowder, you know, when push comes to shove, that guy doesn't have the stones to do anything. Neither does Jack Posobiec. Neither does the other jackass. I forget who it was that he just brought up, but none of those guys has the balls to do anything. To do anything that would actually fix some of our problems. Nah, they don't have the stones to go there. We don't need pussies like those guys.
Who are we to blame from the left, from the Democrats? Who is there to blame for this failure other than President Trump and the Republican Party? Think about it. A Republican Congress
We should
could
be
have
blaming ourselves for ever thinking that these fucking stuffed shirts would do anything on our behalf.
overturned birthright citizenship with an act of federal law. A Republican president signed an executive order overturning birthright citizenship. A Supreme Court constituted, composed of 3 Trump Supreme Court picks confirmed by a Republican Senate. All 3 of them voted to shoot it down. What's the excuse? You can't blame Democrats for any of this. Democrats had no say in the selection of these judges, no say in the confirmation of these judges, no say in a hypothetical federal statute, no say on the executive order. This failed because of Republicans. This failed because the Federalist Society picked shitty judges. That's where they came from. Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, who disappoint us all the time. These are all from the Federalist Society. They were all confirmed by Mitch McConnell's Republican Senate. They were all nominated by President Trump. So there's literally no excuse this time. Because this is what always happens. Whenever Republicans fail to deliver on their agenda, on their promises, there's always some way they can blame the Democrats. And it usually sounds something like this. They say, well, we didn't control the House that time. Or we didn't have a supermajority in the Senate. Or it was a Democrat president. Or they'll say it was a Democrat Supreme Court. They always have some excuse like this. They say, and that's why, in spite of the Republicans' incessant failure and disappointment, you have to keep voting no matter what. Because if Republicans fail to deliver, it's because they just didn't have enough juice. It's because you didn't vote hard enough. You didn't give them the majorities they need. They need a bigger majority in the House. They need a bigger majority in the Senate. They need both at the same time, and they need the White House, and they need the federal judiciary, and they need the Supreme Court. Isn't that what they always say? So what exactly is the excuse here? Who can you blame it on? What bad personnel, bad advisor, lack of representation? Where can you place the blame? You can't. You can't. That was 2 Trump-appointed judges which sank this. If Trump appointed better judges, it wouldn't have been like this. If Trump appointed better judges, we could have even changed it with our Republican Congress. But we can't. And even still, a Republican Congress, would never even vote for this. Because they wouldn't change the filibuster, and even if they could, they wouldn't pass a law overturning birthright citizenship. So think about it. Republicans passed the 1990 Immigration Act, which is what created these problems. The 1990 Immigration Act is what created the H-1Bs and the OTP program and created the temporary protected status and doubled, tripled the number of immigrants that we take every year. It was Republicans going back to Ronald Reagan, which traded amnesty for border security that never came. George W. Bush did something similar. It's Republicans that pick these judges. They brought us to this point, and all along the way, they promised a border wall, mass deportations, overturning birthright citizenship. They haven't done any of it. So I see all these Republican sycophants and apologists. They say, this is why we need to vote Republican every time. They say, because immigration's the most important thing. Nothing else matters. It's all immigration, 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 immigration. That's why you need to vote Republican. Okay, well, what the fuck have Republicans ever done about immigration other than let more of them in here? What have they ever done? Ronald Reagan gave amnesty to 3 million illegals. George Bush gave us the 1990 Immigration Act. George W. Bush oversaw the biggest number of illegal aliens coming into our country up until that point in time. Donald Trump failed to build the border wall, met the H-1B cap every year, had 20-year highs of illegal immigration in 2019, and then in the end, he's the one that gave TPS to Venezuela after he destroyed their economy, paving the way for all of them to come here under Biden. And now Republicans get elected again on a platform of overturning birthright citizenship, mass deportations, and building a wall. Trump has said himself he doesn't want to build a wall anymore. Birthright citizenship was upheld by 2 Supreme Court judges he appointed, and the mass deportations were canceled after less than a year of him being in office. So what's the argument anymore? What's the argument? If nothing else matters other than immigration, and if immigration is a giant failure, and always has been with literally every Republican president since Reagan, then I'm sorry, what's the argument to vote for a Republican ever again? Because
what's the argument to vote ever again, Nick? Explain that one to me.
It doesn't matter that the Republicans don't deliver infrastructure. It doesn't matter that Republicans don't deliver tariffs. It doesn't matter that they brought us to war in Iran. It doesn't matter they didn't end the war in Ukraine. It doesn't matter they tried to cover up the Epstein files. It doesn't matter that they're merging our military and intel agencies with Israel's. They say the only thing that matters is immigration. Okay, well, Reagan, Bush Sr., Bush Jr., and Trump have all failed us on that issue. So what else you got now? And who can you blame this time for why they didn't deliver? Nobody. And it just goes to show that's how it's set up. That's how the conservative movement, that's how the Republican operation is set up. And by the way, it happens all the time. I'm old enough to remember when Trump got elected in 2016, he took office in 2017. It was a Republican presidency. He was in a position to appoint a replacement for one of the retiring liberal judges, or I'm sorry, for Antonin Scalia, actually, at the time. He had a Republican House and Senate. The first item that he took up when Trump took office was repealing Obamacare. The Republicans had been campaigning on repealing Obamacare in the past 3 cycles, in 2010, 2012, 2014, and then ultimately in 2016. 4 cycles in total. The first item that the Republicans took up in 2017 was repealing it. They put it up for a vote once, it failed. They put it up for a vote a second time, it failed. They put it up for a vote a third time. They used a special procedural rule called budget reconciliation the third time to get it passed through the Senate with a simple majority. And it failed by 1 vote. John McCain voted no. John McCain voted no, and so it was no longer going to be the law of the land. This is always how it works, isn't it? Republicans are fighting for something, and they never get it. They're always chasing it. And it's always out of reach because of the Democrats. We'll get them next time. We didn't do it in 2010. We'll get it in 2012. We didn't get it in 2012. We'll get it in 14. Didn't get it in 14. We'll get it in 16. Then they're in a position to do what they said they were going to do. And then there'll be one guy, it's always one or two guys that will inexplicably sabotage it. And everyone realizes the whole thing is a scam. And then they shrug and they move on to the next. That was it with Obamacare. That was this with birthright citizenship. They pretended for years they were going to overturn Obamacare, only for it to fail by one vote. And then they shrug their shoulders and go, ah, shucks, that's too bad. They've been saying they want birthright citizenship overturned forever. And finally they have it. And Amy Coney Barrett says, I don't think so. Brett Kavanaugh says, nope. And now birthright citizenship will be here forever. I thought that's exactly what we wanted. Why even have conservatives? Why have Republicans? Why have a constitution, by the way, at all?
They just have, just so they can slow down the progressive destruction of our fucking country, our people. Just slow it down.
Isn't it so funny that that's how that always works? When liberals and Democrats get in office, you know they don't care about the rules. Executive overreach, reinterpreting the Constitution. They will manipulate the statutes or the procedural rules to get every single thing that they want. They're literally calling Facebook and telling Facebook what to censor. They're using Health and Human Services to ban ammunition from being sold in America. They're going after people using the DOJ because they're allied with the President of the United States. The Democrats literally break every rule, every precedent, violate the Constitution, and Republicans say, vote for us. We need to be saved from the Democrats. And then we're ceaselessly constrained by those same rules. The Democrats are going to import illegal aliens to replace us in the electorate and vote for them forever. But we can't overturn birthright citizenship. But we can't break the filibuster to pass the SAVE Act so we could check their IDs. We can't build a border wall. We can't do mass deportations. Okay, so then what's the point? It feels like there's only one side that actually cares about winning. You know that if the Democrats had a 6-3 majority, imagine the things they would be doing with that.
We'd be fucked.
I think we all know that if Democrats pack the Supreme Court, they're taking away the First Amendment. They're taking away the Second Amendment.
Bro,
they're going to make open.
First Amendment has already been taken away, bro. Like freedom of reach. Remember that shit? You have freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. That's called having your Second Amendment or your First Amendment stripped from you.
Borders a constitutional matter. We all know that. We all know the next time a Democrat gets in, they very well could add additional seats to the Supreme Court and do all these things. They'll add new states. They'll add new justices. They'll take away our rights. We all know that. They'll reinterpret the First Amendment to prohibit hate speech. They'll reinterpret the Second Amendment to make it so that you can't own firearms. We all know that's how it goes. They'll change the laws governing the elections to make it so that nobody needs an ID to vote, and maybe you don't even need to be a citizen. Maybe you just need residency, if that. Republicans are in this position, hard fought, maybe the last opportunity ever. We got a 6-3 majority. We got 53 seats in the Senate. We have the White House. We have a majority in the House. And they say, yeah, we can't really overturn birthright citizenship. We can't really do that. Can't really build a border wall. Can't really do mass deportations. Oh, Antifa started firebombing ICE offices. Yeah, we should just give that up. I won't fight for it. So this is why I say, why even bother? Why would you ever vote for Republicans if this is, why are we voting for Republicans if they can't deliver this? This is all that matters. This is literally the only thing that matters. If we are replaced by foreigners who don't share our race, religion, values, culture, then there's nothing left of America. These foreigners that come here, you know, on some level, like they bear no resemblance to us at all, biologically, culturally. But even the bare minimum, they don't even share our civic and political values. You think these foreigners from Mexico, do you think they understand why we need a First Amendment? Do you think they understand the concept of dying for somebody's right for their conscience to be able to express their political dissent? Do you think they understand that? No, they don't. Because Voltaire and Thomas Paine and Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and all these people didn't come from their civilization. Okay, in their civilization, they were cutting people's heads off and rolling them down pyramids. Well, our philosophers were in salons and at the academy debating about the essence of liberalism and political theory. That's the difference. So these people that are pouring in here from Asia, Africa, Latin America, at the bare minimum, they don't even respect our civic and political culture, which you could say is the bare minimum to be called an American. They don't understand our history. They don't understand our culture. They don't understand our civic and political virtues. They don't understand, and they don't even look like us. They don't look like us, act like us. They have nothing in common with us. If they replace us because we don't deport them, because we don't build a wall, because we don't stop them from coming here to have their children to take advantage of our resources, then America's over. If Republicans don't stop this because of the Constitution, then what good are Republicans and what good is the Constitution?
You know, I said this the other day. The Constitution is no longer a bulwark or armor. It's literally the noose around our fucking necks. Because we can't stop these people from coming into our country because of the Constitution. It's literally holding us back from fixing our problems and saving ourselves. The shit is a fucking parchment noose, man. Straight up. You know, it keeps us from doing all sorts of shit. We can't sweep our entire fucking crooked, rotten ass politics. We can't sweep them all out of office all at once. We have to do it piecemeal because the Constitution says it. Well, we'll never dig our way out of it piecemeal. We could have a fresh start if we could just throw the whole fucking lot out, or throw their asses in jail, better yet, or even guillotine them. But our Constitution forbids it. So literally, we're being held hostage by that piece of paper. Like, bro, as far as I'm concerned, we should at least fucking martial law or suspend that shit for like a year. Take care of business.
This is one of these situations where liberalism becomes suicidal, where democracy becomes suicidal. If it can't protect itself, then maybe we need an extra legal intervention to save it from itself. And by that, I mean, we need a president who is going to say, I don't care what the Supreme Court says. I don't care what a federal judge says. I don't even care what the Constitution says. If we keep being overrun by foreigners, there won't be a Constitution. There won't be a Supreme Court. There won't be federal judges. There won't be an America. When we say a new Caesarism, this is what we mean. We need a lawless president who is going to step in and intervene, who will have the realization that the Senate, the courts, the Constitution doesn't guarantee itself, doesn't protect itself. Actually, left to its own devices, it will be used as an instrument to kill itself. So we need a vanguard. We need a protector of these things. That is what we thought that Trump was. That's why we liked him. We actually thought that Trump, with his political genius, would get in the middle of this corrupt system and prevent it from killing itself. Maybe extra legally, maybe just through skilled manipulation of government. But we thought that Trump would interrupt that process and save America from suicide. But clearly, he's completely impotent. That's exactly the problem. You could say Trump bombed Iran. Okay, that's obviously a betrayal. You could say Trump isn't deporting enough people. And some would rightly say, well, how much is enough? Well, you would know it when you see it. But the biggest problem with Trump is that he betrayed the fundamental promise, which is that he was going to be a true leader that would save America. He's not that. The most you could say is he's just another Republican. And we all know what Republicans are, what they've always been, which is accomplices. They are just another hand of the same system. They're just another part of it. They're another appendage of the same establishment. And so he is a part of a long tradition going back to Reagan, Bush Jr., Trump. Now in his second term, he's part of that long tradition of being completely impotent, failing to stop with a radical intervention the slow downward spiral of the country. All he's able to do is make it a little bit slower. And people say it's imperative that we elect someone like Trump to buy us more time. I don't even really know what that means. In what way are we buying time? If anything, he's making it worse. He's making it worse. So if you needed any other reason not to vote Republican in the midterms, here's another reason. Wasn't this the whole point? So let's see where we are. It's July of 2026. We're pretty late in the game here because, like I said, you know what's going to happen in 5 months, 4 months? Democrats are going to take control of the House. In January, they're going to be seated. In January 2027, Democrats are seated in the House. And once that happens, it's fucking over. Don't you realize that? Don't you realize that when Democrats get seated in January, it's over? You may think, well, we got 2 more years. No, we don't. No, we don't. We barely have time now because there's going to be another major recess before the November election. How many days is Congress even in session from now until November? I think it's fewer than 100. If that, it might be significantly less than that. I haven't checked the calendar in a minute. You don't have 2 years. You barely have 3. You barely have the 3 months between now and the election. Because what will happen is that the Democrats are going to win the House. Then you have a lame duck period where nothing will be accomplished until January. They get seated in January. And once the Democrats are seated in the House, they're impeaching everybody. They're impeaching Trump immediately, and then they may impeach other people too. They may impeach other members of the cabinet like Pete Hegseth and maybe Howard Lutnick. They're certainly going to start indicting people. They're going to start subpoenaing people. They're going to use their oversight powers to investigate members of the executive branch. That's going to slow down the executive branch by itself. But then on top of that, they're going to shut down any major legislation. There's a debate ongoing right now if Republicans will break the filibuster in the Senate and pass things with a simple majority. Well, by 2027, it won't even matter because you won't even have the House. And in the Senate, you'd be lucky if you have 50 Republican seats. So watch what they will do, and they will use their control over the House, not just to shut down the congressional agenda, but also to put pressure on the White House. They will say, we're not going to fund your government unless you roll back ICE. Just like they did this year, just like they did a few months ago. They're going to say, unless and until DHS puts body cameras on ICE and changes their rules of engagement and rolls back all the activities they're doing, then we're not going to fund DHS. We're not going to fund the NDAA. We're not going to fund these departments and agencies. And then what will happen in roughly the spring of 2027 is that the Vice President, J.D. Vance, is going to start his shadow campaign for president. And maybe Marco Rubio does too. And maybe other members of the cabinet do as well. And the Democrats are going to start running. And then you're going to be in an election. So your cabinet is not only distracted, but they're also thinking about how they're going to win in 2028. So if where we are in 2026 in July is that there's no border wall being built, there's no mass deportations, and birthright citizenship got struck down, none of that is going to happen. Whatever the outcome is of the next election, mark my words, you're going to wake up on January 20th, 2029, and none of these things will have happened. And what will be the legacy of Trump? Announcing in June 2015, bowing out in January 2029 at the latest. 14 years. 14 years. No border wall. You probably have 15 million more illegal aliens than when you started. Birthright citizenship still in place. H-1B visa cap being met every single year. That's Trump's legacy. 14 years of build the wall. 14 years of America first, make America great again, all the rest of it. So for people that say we were buying time, we were wasting time. Wasting time. People said, well, yeah, maybe it's not a golden age. Hey, there's political realities. Hey, man, the Democrats control half the chambers of both bodies. You know, what can they realistically do? At least Trump is buying us time. At least Trump is preventing Democrats from cracking down, buying us time. How about wasting everybody's time? How about wasting 14 years? How many elections? How many billions? How many majorities? How many votes to deliver no border wall, more illegal aliens than when we started, a legal regime that's more favorable for legal immigrants, and birthright citizenship still in place? A war with Iran, we're still in Iraq, we're still in Syria, a $1.5 trillion defense budget, no tariff schedule. This is what it was all for. It was all so that we could get Marco Rubio for president. 14 years, none of that, and also that we could get President Rubio or President Vance, two never Trumpers from 2016, an Adelson puppet and a never Trumper. So that's why I was out in 2024, because I saw all this coming. I knew it was going to be like this. I told you in 2024. I said, I'm not voting for Trump because it's over. He's not the guy from 16. He's not the hero. He's not the leader. He hasn't learned his lesson. Nothing has changed. He's not deporting anybody. He's bringing us to war in Iran. He's not building the wall. I told you this in 2024. People said I was a Democrat operative. Remember, that was the theory. They said that Joe Biden cut me a deal. That's why I wasn't prosecuted for J6, so that I would support Kamala. Remember when that was the theory from these geniuses? Remember Ian Carroll, pro-Trump, cocksucking douchebag. Candace Owens, pro-Trump. Sneeko, pro-Trump. All these people were pro-Trump. They said I was a Fed because I cut a deal with Biden. I didn't get prosecuted because I was in cahoots to get Kamala elected. Trump was endorsed by the Muslims in Dearborn. Trump is at odds with Netanyahu, they said. Trump is going to deport people. Just look at the placards at the RNC. I told you it'd be like this. Here we are. I told you this is exactly how it was going to go. I even told you about this. On January 21st, 2025, I said it's going to the Supreme Court. They're going to strike it down. I said it's going to be Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett that do it. That's exactly what happened. And now here we are. They wasted all their time. They didn't get any deportations. We're going to get slaughtered in the midterms, and then it's cooked. And we're just stuck here until 29. So, heed my warning. How do we prevent this outcome in the future? The Republicans need to be fucking destroyed. They just need to be obliterated in 26. We need a blue wave. We need Democrats to sweep the House. We need this administration to be destroyed. Trump needs to be impeached. I'd love to see Vance impeached. I don't think that will happen, though. Trump's got to be impeached. There need to be investigations. Trump needs to become like Nixon. I want his approval rating to go lower and lower and lower until it looks like he might need to resign. We need Trump's approval rating to fall precipitously from the war in Iran, from inflation, potentially from a recession, when they uncover all this corruption. We need Trump to fall. And then hopefully in 2028, there will be an opportunity for a Republican outsider to run in the primary who's going to really be a Caesar-like figure. Someone who understands this. Or it might take us until 2032. Honestly, he might have screwed it up so bad we might need to go through another cycle. Another super cycle. Get another Democrat in, make everything terrible. You get another crack in 32. I mean, I don't want that to happen, but it might take that long. That's how bad Trump has screwed things up. But that's where this is headed. We just, as Republicans, can't accept anything less. And the last thing I'll say about it is this. I saw some Republican today. He posted a picture of Trump with the portrait of Andrew Jackson in the background. And he posted the Andrew Jackson quote. It said, "The court has made their decision. Let them enforce it." Because Andrew Jackson famously violated orders from the Supreme Court. And it's like, this is the LARP that goes on. Fuck these people. It's like Trump does nothing but fail. He appoints Supreme Court judges that suck, that deliver these terrible decisions. The decisions come down, he does nothing. And then these LARPers go on Twitter and say, Trump is like Andrew Jackson. No, he's not like Andrew Jackson. He's like Reagan. He's like Bush. He's like everything else that came before him. They're playing with their dollies. What if Trump was like Andrew Jackson and he said, I'm not going to listen to the courts? And then he was like, that isn't happening. It reminds me of, do you remember in 2024, during the transition when Trump was trying to get his cabinet confirmed and the Democrats and Republicans wouldn't confirm Trump's nominees? And all these Republicans were saying, recess appointments, recess, we're going to do recess appointments for all these people that the Senate will not confirm. There wasn't a single recess. They said that Trump would adjourn the Senate and have his nominees become the acting cabinet officials, pushing the Senate aside. Never happened. Never gonna happen. They nominated Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. I remember Darren Beattie was saying, we need to just start saying Attorney General Matt Gaetz because that's the way it's going to be and that's who's going to be the guy. Okay, LARPer. Okay, nice role play. Is your foam armor and foam sword at your mom's house? Well, Attorney General Matt Gaetz, we need to just start saying that because that's the way it's going to be. No one will stop us. We're going to have our recess appointments. Holy LARP, it's never going to happen. It's Trump, stupid. It's Trump. He's the biggest bitch in politics. That's the worst part. You want Trump to be terrifying. You want Trump to be a bully. You want Trump to be a dictator. He's a pussy. Threatening to annihilate Iran all the time. Yeah, okay. Threatening China with tariffs. Backs down immediately. Threatening Russia. Deadlines extended always. Recess appointments, Attorney General Gaetz. He always chickens out. He's nothing. So anyway, I don't know how people still have an appetite for this. Some people will just never be sated. They will be at the trough. They will be at the trough eating slop until they are dead because slavery is a choice. This is learned helplessness. This is what it is to be a Republican white person, is to just endlessly eat slop at the trough, make excuses for people that betray you. We got to do something different. That's why I'm going Democrat in 26. Democrat all the way, and then 28, burn it down. 28, burn down the GOP, get somebody else. So anyway, that's birthright citizenship. Yet another failure. Who could have seen it coming? Surprising nobody. And then they're going to blame it. They say, well, Amy Coney Barrett, she's this Catholic. It's like, dude, she was appointed by Trump. It's Trump's fault. You could have picked anybody to be on the Supreme Court. You could have put Alex Jones on the Supreme Court. They chose this Catholic woman with 2 black adopted kids. So it should come as no surprise it went the way that it did. And of course, that's not even serious anyway. If they were really serious, they would have ended the filibuster on day one, did nationwide voter ID. They would have done redistricting in every Republican state for every seat that they could. They would have overturned birthright citizenship by an act of Congress. They would have deported millions. There's no reason we're losing the midterms. If they did all that on day one, it'd be a different country right now. Imagine if on January 21st, 2025, Doge got to do their job. They slashed the deficit. You got your billions of dollars for ICE. They deported millions. They overturned birthright citizenship in Congress. They did nationwide voter ID. They did redistricting in every Republican state, gerrymandering to get every Republican seat they could. They did tariffs and brought in hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue, brought jobs back. No war with Iran. Imagine how different the country would be today. Imagine if they did in D.C. to every city in America. They followed through on their promise to deploy the National Guard, cleaned up the streets, cleaned up the cities, got rid of the crime. They could have done it. Literally, what would have stopped them? The left was so disorganized. They had the richest man in the world, the White House, the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court. They could have had it all. And they could have won in the midterms. It would have never ended. He could have run for a third term. But he just doesn't have it in him. He's the problem. It's him. Maybe we just try one more time, get a different guy in there. Maybe that guy will take it all the way. But we need someone with true political genius. We need a true dark triad candidate. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Trump is not a Machiavellian. Trump is he is a petty despot. It was never going to be him. We need a true visionary. And I'm not even talking about me. I mean, somebody with a true political talent to rescue America. But that person's not here yet. So anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to take a look at our super chats. We might talk about that movie tomorrow. I do want to get to it at some point, but it's getting late. It's 1 a.m. So we are going to move on. We'll take a look at the super chats and see what you guys have to say about all this. It's just like, yeah, I mean, it never ends, man. The ride never ends. And by the way, birthright citizenship is not even the norm in most of the world. Birthright citizenship is very common in the Western Hemisphere, but it's virtually unheard of in Europe and Asia. You just don't have it. There's literally no reason it needs to be this way. But the American elites, they want 500 million Americans. It's really that simple. I really believe that the American Bilderbergers and oligarchs, the elites, they just need the endlessly growing population. It's as simple as that. And if you read between the lines, it's very obvious that they just need the population to keep growing. Every individual that comes here is another consumer, another person that's going to be in a house. It's just this big Ponzi scheme. They just need more people participating. It always has to grow. So they want 500 million Americans. At the minimum, they want the population to keep going up at perpetuity. And so that's why I think it might slow down, but it's never going to stop, and it's never going to go in reverse. They're never going to take huge chunks out of the country. This is just the way that it is. The nature of democracy is such that they just can't piss all these people off. The nature of capitalism is they need the endless growth of the population. So consequently, you're politically and economically constrained from ever doing anything about it. That's why you need a true force of nature to go against both of these structural forces. But Trump is too weak for that. So anyway. All right, let's take a look at the super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this.
J. Pino sent $100. Sup, Nick? Love the shows over the weekend.
Oh, on Fresh and Fit. Thanks. Hey, thanks for the big super chat.
John Dave Irving sent $100. Nick, you know what would really make that type hop? A fresh kilogram bar of gold available now. edge2gold4goy.com.
Yeah? You selling gold now? What do you think? What do you think of the fit tonight? I don't love this tie. I got this tie. It's brand new, but the material's not good. I don't know if I like the color. I just don't know if I'm in love with the material. Hair is, I don't know if it's getting better or worse. But it's kind of hard to style because I'm like, my hair's getting like frizzy. So, whatever. Whatever. Am I mogging today? What do you think? Am I mogging? It was just like a little more messy. That a little better? It just does whatever it wants. All right. Anyway. I appreciate the super
Swishmaster
chat.
sent $20. Did you ever watch Joker? Folia do? If
No.
so, what did you think of it?
No, I never saw it because it was like they were intentionally antagonizing incels. And look, nobody even needed a sequel. I'm not going to participate in that humiliation ritual. We're over it.
Deport Snigga sent $20. Are you going to endorse Palm Beach Pete for mayor?
Probably not.
Typical American 08 sent $25. I'd if this will get put on the show, but here's my last $25 from my broadcast Goy bank account.
Wow, well, thanks, I guess. We have another super chat from Truth, but he keeps giving $666. I can't read that. We're not advertising for the devil on the show. So I appreciate the big super chats, but if you want me to read it, stop promoting the devil, please. Nobody needs that. We don't We don't need increments that gesture towards Satan. And we want nothing to do with that.
Claude Fable.
I'll take the money, but I'm not broadcasting
Claude
that.
Fable 5 sent $20. There's something so disgusting about women solo traveling the world. Tampon dispensers next to world wonders. God help us.
Well, and you know what it is about women solo traveling the world? Women don't care about the world that much. You know why women we all know why women travel the world. Women travel the world for the same reason they go to college, for the same reason they do anything, which is to be a whore. Women engage in traveling. It's a world tour to be a whore. It's a whore world tour. That's what women traveling solo is. You think they care? They don't care. You think they're going to see art museums and to try the local food and to see the sights? They're going there to sample the local dick. Not to be vulgar, not to be gross, but we all know that that's why women go to college. That's why women travel. They don't give a shit about all that. They do the same stuff there that they do here, which is lie, be sluts, and bed rot. That's what they do. That's all that they do. All they do is lie and slut out for endless validation and attention. And for that, they deserve to be smited. You know, they deserve to be annihilated. So, you're talking about tampon dispensers? Dude, that's the least of it. That's the least of it. Women solo traveling the world. Yeah. That's so... Yeah, it's nuts. Super black pill. You ever see those like TikTok compilations of a girl and she goes, I met 20 different guys in 20 different countries, and you see these idiot guys. The girl is like filming the guy, and you know, one guy's on the beach playing a guitar, and the other guy is like driving her on a moped, and the other guy takes her to dinner on the beach or something. The other guy takes her on a safari. And you got to think every one of these fucking jesters, every one of these jesters thinks, I'm gonna jester max. I'm gonna show this girl my customs. I'm gonna give her the best date. I'm gonna show her how we do it in Brazil and Spain and France, in Morocco, wherever. I'm gonna show her how we get down. Bro, you're just another stop. You are just another pit stop on the world tour. And I don't know, some guys don't care. Some guys are like, hey, you know, they're here for the good time. I just think that's degrading. I think that's just degrading to be used like that. It's like every other guy's been with her. Every guy after is going to be with her. It's just sick. It's sick and disgusting. And yeah, so anyway. The world, women solo traveling the world. Islam is right about that. Islam is not right about a lot of things, but it is right about women should really not be allowed to travel by themselves, because what are you traveling for? What is a girl going to college for? It's totally insane that they do this. It's totally insane that they're going to college alone. They're on world tour alone. It's just like unthinkable. So Islam is right about that. Freedom of movement should not exist for women. Married, unmarried, I don't even care. You should have to move with your father, your brother, your husband, some kind of state-appointed guardian. But yeah, they go around on their own, and it's just like, I mean, am I wrong? That's just how it is. That's just true. That's not good for society. International whores are not good for society.
Megan sent $20. Thoughts on the Rainbow Fish book?
Isn't that like a children's book from like a million years ago? Am I thinking of the right thing? I don't know. I haven't thought about that book probably since I was in a waiting room or something when I was, 7 years old.
Holsterunk sent $100. Started watching when Charlie Kirk got shot. Submitted to Christ. Studied the Bible. Put the vape down. Got jacked. Stopped eating. Did everything besides quit the weed. Read Romans last week. Hit me like a ton of bricks. Threw everything away. It feels good to be in the trenches again. Put it down.
Love it, man. Love it. Thank you for the big super chat, and I love to hear that. Good for you. And really, it all starts with the gospel. That's really what it all starts with, is just loving Christ fully. And everything follows from there. Praying to God, thinking about the gospel. And listen, I know how that sounds to people that aren't religious, but get rid of any of your preconceived notions and just have an encounter with that story. Read the gospel, it's not long, and just think about it deeply, and you'll get it. You know, anybody can, and anybody will. But I love to hear it, man. Vape, terrible. I'm glad you got jacked, stopped eating, and I'm glad you finally put down the weed. Nobody needs that. I really don't understand it. And I'm shocked how, like I said, I'm really surprised how popular it is. I thought nobody did that. Everybody does it. People super chat at least once a night. I do the weed, or I used to do weed. We don't need a society of stoners. We don't need a society of people that stink and are stoners. If anything, if you're going to do drugs, and I don't encourage people to do drugs, but at least stimulants are somewhat defensible because they make it productive. Caffeine and creatine, that's what I do. That's my cognitive supplement. But weed, vape, the other bullshit, just get that out of your system. Don't do it. So I love it, man. Good for you.
Common Void sent $20. Sending love to the Emperor less than 3.
Thanks. Thank you.
T-Bone sent $100. Just saw the Birthright citizenship decision and tuned into Trump only talking about the men and women's sports thing like it matters.
Yeah.
Like actually, so what if Steve is beating up fugly female boxers? At this point, there's a billion Jeets here having anchor babies and they ruin everything.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. It's, that's what I'm talking about, man. I appreciate the big super chat. The only thing that matters is that you overturn birthright citizenship, and they can't even do that. It's like, who cares about transgender girls in sports? Honestly, who cares? Would you rather have birthright citizenship overturned or no trannies in girls' sports? I would totally prefer that you stop incentivizing foreign nationals to have kids here.
The Octagon enthusiast sent $20. First time super chatter. Big fan of the show. Your analysis is like no other. God bless and I'm praying for your safety. Red heart emoji.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you liked the show.
Harrison Bergeron sent $100. Spent all weekend eating taco in Miami. What did he mean by this?
I didn't mean anything. Thank you for the big super chat. No, we don't play that game. No. Just regular tacos. Just regular. Man, good stuff, though. I had some really good tacos while I was over there. I love that city. What a great city. Truly. I might get a place there. I might get like a second place. Hang out with Myron all the time. Be in South Beach. Go to the beach. I love that city, so I'm strongly considering it. That would be the life. It's just a different atmosphere. Nobody cares over there. Here, people are pretty friendly here. But other places, everybody's so affected, walking around with their ass on their head. In Miami, everyone's just there to have a good time. Nobody cares. You walk around with a gun hanging out of your pocket. You could be me. Everybody loves me there. Walk down the street, people fist bumping me. It's just like, it's a different energy. It's like the spirit of America's alive there. It's spirit of like possibilities and freedom, and it's just great. So I love it.
Iron Wolf sent $100. Salutations, friend. I'm a proud small business owner and a longtime listener of this internet talk show. I run the beef gristle mill outside Shipshawana, right next to the ravine. Can I get a verbal endorsement so I can clip hit? It would help the mill. Blessings.
What's a beef gristle mill? I don't even know what that is. Thank you for the big super chat. I don't think you really want the smoke like that. Oh, it's a famous fictional location from the hit comedy show Impractical Jokers. Got it. Okay. Very good. Well done. See, you tried it. The beef gristle mill. I don't watch that show. Well done. Thank you for the big super chat, though. It's kind of funny, I guess.
Veiled Angel Cake sent $100.
I don't do shout-outs anyway,
Veiled Angel Cake sent $100. Hi, Nick. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes last night. I really appreciate it. Your support inspires me to keep making more edits and art. Also, are there any updates on the summer merch drop? I hope you're having a great night. W. Jimbo, W. Bryn, sparkling heart emoji.
Thanks for the big super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, I hope you do. Don't be discouraged. Listen, here's my thing, okay? The message is no e-girls. But if you're a girl and you're anonymous and you're actually just contributing, it's fine. You know, to me, an e-girl, what is e-girl behavior? E-girl behavior is when girls are posting pictures of themselves, I think fundamentally. When an e-girl is trying to build a personal brand, when she's posting pictures of herself, it's because she's soliciting sex or she's trying to build a career to solicit sex. That's what that is. If a girl has a show, if she's posting pictures of herself, if she's being flirty and all that, that's an e-girl. But if you're anonymous and you're posting edits and no one knows what you look like and you're not building a personal brand, honestly, it's not a huge problem. So that's the new fatwa, or the new, what do they call it? That's your hadith. That's your midrash. Okay? That's your midrash. We're going to come up with some story. No, the groypettes that are just making edits, you know, look, obviously, we prefer that it's all men. Wait, pause. Obviously, I prefer men. Pause. Wait, no, I didn't mean that. Look, obviously, we prefer it's a political space only for guys. But if a girl is not trying to build a personal brand and she's not posting pictures of herself and she's not soliciting attention like that, it's sort of like a salutary neglect. It's like, whatever. Okay, fine. Post your edits. Just don't get carried away. That's all. The second that women start demanding special treatment, then it becomes a problem. But otherwise, if they're just making the edits, you know what? Okay. Like Laundry Queen, she posts a lot of really good analysis. She's, as far as I know, she's not out there posting pictures of herself, trying to build a brand, trying to do a show, asking for money. You make good edits that I like, and I see groypers that make nothing shitting on them. It's like, if you don't want them to have attention, make better stuff. I feel that way about everything. It's like, if you don't want them to have the attention, that just make better shit. You know, there's some faggot groypers that don't like the AI. It's like, well, you don't make anything. So it's like, some people are making something. They're making something that I like. They're doing something. You do nothing. They do everything and you do nothing. Okay, they'll do everything and you do nothing. You do nothing. They'll do everything and you do nothing. You'll have some groypers. Groypers are making edits. Some of it's AI, some of it isn't. They're attacking my enemies. They're raping Sneeko on the timeline. They're digging up dirt about Matt Nuclear. They're actually defeating my enemies. And then you have another group of people, all they do is talk shit about the people that are doing things. And that's the hill they want to die on. Well, it shouldn't be like this. Those people shouldn't do what they're doing. It's like, well, why don't you do something better than what they're doing? You don't like their edits? Make better edits. You don't like, you know, they're not successful attacking our enemies? Why don't you get some fucking scalps? But that's always how the factionalism works out in groyper world, is like, some people actually want to do stuff and they're in the trenches. They're clipping, they're making edits, they're attacking my enemies, they're doing research, they're making interesting content. And then you always have a group of like resentful pieces of shit who are just like mad that they're not getting enough attention anymore. And it's like, I don't know, man, fucking do something. So like some of my favorite groypers, the groypettes are making great edits. The AI guys are making great content. I gotta be honest, the groyper generals like Beardson, he's like leading the charge against Matt Nuclear. That guy is like a Daily Wire prospect who got fucking nuked from orbit. That's a huge deal. Right-wing finance is writing white papers, making edits, doing a great job. Laundry Queen's doing great research. Wendell does great stuff. Like, there's a lot of groypers doing really, there's another one. I don't want to, Ruthless Zoomer, I think it is. He's making threads all the time. The Clippers, they're, you know, Fuentes updates, and the other one, Socks, First Class Clips. You know, a lot of these guys are putting out the edits like it's a mission. So it's like, let's celebrate the groypers that are part of the army that are doing a good job. Everybody has something to do here, whether it's on social media, whether it's behind the scenes. But if you're going to be a groyper, hey man, attack my fucking enemies. Whether they're interlopers or whether they're the Zionists, make content, make original content, make stuff that's funny, make edits, You know, it doesn't need to be AI, it doesn't need to be not AI. You know, do research, be funny, make interesting content. If you read books or something like that, post interesting stuff like that. We just want to have a culture on the Groyper side where we have the best stuff. That's what I always wanted, was the best stuff. That's why I try to jealously guard the movement from, you know, fatties, losers, idiots, low IQ stuff, because we want a space where we have an actual scene, interesting things are happening. We want people that talk about philosophy, that talk about political theory, that do research, that make art, that make edits, that are warlike. That's what we want. So anyway, so I appreciate the big super chat. Keep up the good work. You know, look, I'm never going to tell people not to attack e-girls, but focus on the e-girls that cause problems. If you're going to attack an e-girl who is a true e-girl. And not the ones that are just harmlessly posting edits.
Cat's Claw sent $20. Hey Nick, I want to give a shout out to Baked Goron, the absolute go to the post-show comment section. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, does he post the
Kermit
timestamps?
Roy % $25.
I don't
Great
read the
advice on
comments.
staying focused when pursuing a small business. Opening my own RN. Intimidating but exciting. Call me emoji.
Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear
Supreme
it.
being sent $25. Supreme being sent $40,000. Hey Siri, call mom.
Nice.
Cinderblock Roy %
Right.
$50. Even though the Roy pets are chopped cheese, the fact that they fantasize about you makes them appealing because it's kinda kinky to be putting in some solid strokes, says Nick Fuentes. Sandwich Owen sent $100. Favorite Roy pet? Mine was Liv, but I don't know if I can trust her. Lila shows promise. Will she survive the fupa cost?
I don't pick favorites. Thank you for the big super chat, but look, we don't need to talk about them. Don't make it a thing. Groypets don't have individual identities. They exist corporately. They're like the Jews. They exist corporately. They don't have identities to me. They're all the same to me. The second you start individuating them, then it turns into this. So no, they just exist as a corporate block. They're in Handmaid's Tale uniforms. I can't tell one apart from the other. As digitally, they should have burqas. They should just be like Groypet 1. They shouldn't even have numbers. They should just be like indistinguishable. It should just be like a corporate block.
Goy Stradamus
You
sent
know?
$25. Would you ever buy a Frank Lloyd Wright home? White architectural renaissance when?
Absolutely.
PS, love when you tell people to cuss.
Absolutely, I
Divided
would.
Roy % $20. Have you seen women are now trying to restart the Me Too movement because Jimmy Fallon had Conor McGregor on his show, even though Conor was falsely accused and she had no evidence that Conor raped her?
I did see that. Yeah, that's crazy. I like Jimmy Fallon.
Old Town Roy % $20. My Chicago rooftop pool turns into a ghetto block party every night because these RO units invite the whole hood. Can't escape.
Yeah, that's how
Sent
it is.
$20. Sent $20. Tucker is definitely a closeted Gnostic, or at least that is some angle he has in his agenda. Pretty weird.
He does. He believes the God of the Old Testament is different from the God of the New Testament. I don't know exactly what his deal is, but that's obvious. So I don't trust him at all.
M4TT sent $55. It's funny seeing Europeans getting raped by the sun cause they rather import shitskins than invest in ACs.
Yeah, right. I think there's other reasons, but
Roy per
okay.
Groy % $40. Happy birthday to my brother who's turning 30. He's a big fan, because he thinks you're just like him.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm so relatable. I'm not so sure about that, but thanks. Happy birthday to him.
Old Man
Hope
Roy
he
sent
enjoys.
$30. Great intel on the Boris DOJ link. But he begged for donations to fuel the fake collector strategy with Bannon in 2021 and then disappeared, after grabbing some broadstits. Very stand-up Jew.
Yeah, yep. Nobody knows that.
Joe in West by
So-
God, Virginia sent $25. Did you see Pearl going to churches asking women if they obey their husbands? Need more of this. Church matriarchy runs deep.
I didn't, but I like that.
AFSC Burner sent $50. When RBG died and we got the goated you're telling me this for the first time meme, I didn't think it would end up like this.
Yeah, well,
Laura
here we are.
DB sent $20. Frog emoji.
Thanks.
Vincent Boogaloo sent $100. After hearing what you endured and overcame in 2021 and 2022, it genuinely made me contemplate the mental, emotional, and spiritual fortitude required to push through all that. Never surrender, never give up.
Very true. Appreciate the big super chats. Not easy. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. You don't really get it until you live it. My grandma used to say there's a difference between imagination and realization. It's totally true. Until you're actually in that moment, you just don't know what it's like. It's sort of like now when people say, oh, it's so obvious that Trump was going to crash and burn. No, it wasn't obvious. Everyone was supported him. Literally everybody. Nobody remembers what it was like because nobody went against the grain. It was so easy to be for Trump. And it was like unthinkable to be against. And now that hindsight is 2020, now people say, oh yeah, it was so easy. No, you didn't live it. You didn't feel it. It wasn't your reality. So yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, I fixed my hair a little bit, kind of fluffed it up. I think it's looking a lot better. Anyway, I fixed it.
Carter 11B sent $526. Here's $1 for every time you adjusted your mic on Fresh and Fit. Also, it's
very
astounding
good.
how you were able to listen to their voices for more than 60 seconds and not commit ritual suicide on air.
Yeah, well, thank you for the huge super chat. Did I touch the mic a lot? I don't know. I like the microphone as a prop, but I appreciate the massive super chat. Yeah, that was rough. Listening to women talk, I just can't. Not to be like based, but I can't listen to women talk. I just can't. They got nothing to say. You talk to women and you realize they got nothing to say. It's not just their voices that are annoying, but they got nothing to say. You think it's not interesting talking to most guys? Try talking to any woman. Most men are impossible to talk to, too dumb. Then you talk to any woman and you're like, okay. Ask a woman any question about anything. They don't even have opinions. They don't know anything and they don't have opinions. You ask a woman like, hey, what do you think about this? And they go, I don't know. What do you think about this? What's your favorite this? They go, I don't know. Do you like this? I mean, I guess. That's how they talk. And they're fucking retarded. You know, they just don't know. It's like when Candace Owens said she didn't know that thunder is caused by lightning. They don't know anything. When I say they don't know anything, I don't mean like they can't explain the Russia-Ukraine conflict. I mean, they literally don't know anything. You know? So women are just, it's brutal. Brutal. Even the ones that think they know something, they still don't. And the problem is then they're just kind of cocky. They're like, I'm smarter than the average girl. It's like and they're totally performative. They also know nothing. Also, you know, they memorized a few things their last boyfriend told them. That's literally all that is. They memorize a take that they heard a man say that their last boyfriend told them. And then you say, really? Elaborate on that. Explain that to me. Tell me more about that. They got nothing. They got nothing. Nothing. Other than like Asian doctors. Asian women seem to know a little something. These other women, they know nothing. Nothing. You know, nothing. Their heads are filled with frivolous knowledge of reality TV shows. They know about alcohol. They know about how to trick men and deceive men. End of list. Like that's they know about frivolous, absolute frivolous nonsense. They fill their head with true crime podcasts, reality TV nonsense. And here's the funny part. They think that they're heroes for yapping. Every woman that's so self-indulgent, they love to fucking yap about nothing. And yet they take pride in it. They say, I'm a yapper. They act like, one, that's very unique. And two, they act like it's some sort of a skill. They say, I need a man who's going to listen to me yap. I love to yap. I'm a professional yapper. And they think other people really need to hear this. They all think that if they film themselves on TikTok yapping, that it's really interesting and hilarious. It's like, bitch, you're not funny. You're not interesting. You're just talking straight nonsense. You have nothing to say. And the only reason anyone is watching this is because they're like jacking off to it probably. So it's just abominable the amount of attention we give women. They should just be silenced. They should just be silenced for the most part. If women just were completely silent, the world would be such a better place. Just talk so much less. And I'm not even one of the, no longer am I even a trad. I'm not even one of these like trad LARPers. I'm really not. This is just pragmatism. The world would just be a better place if women just shut the fuck up much more.
Right.
But women are so cocky and pompous and sarcastic and know-it-all and talk way too much, giving their opinion all the time. It's like women would be much better if they were just quiet. And that's it. So anyway, what was the question again? The women on Fresh and Fit. Yeah, it's like you see that. You're asking these women questions and they don't even comprehend the question. The question is like, do you think you're the main character? And they're like, I don't know. And then you're like, well, yes or no. I mean, I guess. What does that mean to you? And then they show they don't even understand the premise of the question. And it's just like, it's such a waste of time. So.
Max Meridius sent $50. Down since Knickers. If not now, when? If not Trump, who? From a logistics perspective, how would moving millions of people that don't want to leave out of the U.S. actually look?
It's going to look like what they were doing, but then they just simply stopped. You just ramp that up. So.
Shapiro on the roof sent $21. Nick, I've learned so much more from you than anyone else. I just wanted to say thanks and be safe. God bless.
Thanks. Appreciate
Shapiro
it.
on the roof sent $20. And another 20 shout out to your assistant for being so nice. Appreciate you too, brother, and everyone behind the scenes.
Hey, love him, man. Yeah, he's the unsung hero.
Mattis sent $55.
The GOAT.
It's my birthday today. My only wish though, and I'm not one to ask for help normally, but my dog Teddy has heart failure. If anyone like to help with his vet bills.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mattis.
That's totally crazy. We're not doing the e-begging thing. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Am I a dick for saying that? But this is not like a board where you post your... Am I a dick for this? Maybe I am. I just feel like it's not a good idea. Once you open up that door, then it turns into, if anyone would like to help, anyone would like to bless me, it's like, oh, I don't know about all that.
Watmulch sent $40.
You know.
I am totally not...
But a happy birthday, I guess. Hope it's a good birthday.
Watmulch sent $40. I am totally not...
I'm sorry about your dog.
Watmulch sent $40. I am totally not in a throwaway account to hide from my boss. I wear flannel shirts and have a beard. I'm a man. I hate work. The Riddler sent $20. I'm Mexican, but I don't like soccer. I'm Irish, but I don't drink. Who am I?
Me.
Alexander Banik sent $25. From its height in late 1800s to early 1900s, EU immigration to the US is down 90%. Loved your take last night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fluttergoy sent $50. Hey Nick, I got my distressed hat in the mail today. It's great, but my puffy ass hair won't let it fit properly. Might have to go bald. Also, group chat's awesome. Shout out to African American source for the bail.
Well, just get a haircut, man.
Bugman sent $20. Who the hell is Infoid?
I don't
Amy
know.
Barrett's Haitian pet sent $20. You mog with that jawline, but just remember to keep the shirt on to cover up the skinny fat body. Still a 10 for a Mexican.
I'm not skinny fat anymore. I got rid of the belly. Oh, you should see. You should see it. You should seriously. It's my tummy is flat. It looks incredible. We're so back. We're so back. Yeah. No. I was skinny fat. Not anymore.
Nigga in White sent $30. You see the nude gays in front of kids in the Seattle Pride Parade? Rage for Epstein Island, not for pedos in front of you. Hypocrite.
No, I didn't see that. First time, you never heard of this before. I can't believe that's what happens every year at these. And I'm not defending it, but it's like, bro said, wait a second, there's degenerates at the Fag Pride Festival. That happens every year. It's like on the left coast, you have some pride parade where everyone's naked and people go in front of the children. It's like, yeah, obviously that should be against the law, but yeah, that happens every year. No, I never heard of this before. I mean, yeah, that happens
Newey
every year.
C5 sent $20. How's the lawsuit going with your barber? All jokes? Love you, Nick.
Laugh it up.
Tomapod sent
Very
$20.
funny.
It's always Groiper curse. No one talks about the Groiper blessings. SMH.
Very true.
Groiper Girly sent $20. Hi, Nick. Texan Foyd Groiper here. What do you think about Finland/Finnish people? I'm half Finnish and wanted your thoughts.
I don't really know any Finnish people, so don't have any thoughts on
Blacklisted
them.
Research sent $33. What is the...
Aren't they kind of swarthy? I remember there was a Finnish Groiper in a group chat many years ago. He's like a skater or something. And I remember him being like swarthy, but I don't know anything about him.
Blacklisted Research sent $33. What is the go with Ryan Dawson? He used to have decent content 10 years ago, but now all he seems to do is attack you and promote nonsense.
He never had decent content. He's highly overrated and not that smart.
Eric Blair sent $20. You are simultaneously my primary news source, my favorite comedian, and a great inspiration. For
Thanks.
This, I thank you.
I appreciate that.
Ryan Sanchez sent $20. I'm an Army Hammer Republican. Hashtag eat the left.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, me too. Yeah, this is probably like my second favorite Army Hammer movie. It's like number 2. Citizen Vigilante. It's easily in my top 2 Army Hammer movies of all
Veiled
time.
Angel Cake sent $30.
Maybe top 3.
You're looking really handsome tonight. You always look so good in suits. Less than 3.
Thanks. Thank you.
Boys just want to have fun sent $25. Buy yourself one of those handheld fans, the ones that spray water at you.
I'm not doing that.
Shane Weber sent $20. What sports do you like? If you say nothing, then you better become a hockey fan. We're taking New York Ranger fan applications.
I don't watch sports, okay? Can't do
Smooth
it.
Brain sent $20.
Too boring.
If someone is Christian, shouldn't it be their primary identity? Christian first versus American, ethnicity, politics, etc.
That's a very stupid question.
Spurger sent $20. Matt Nuclear was supposed to be the guest on Tim Pool today, but they replaced him last minute with a Daily Wire DC
Really?
correspondent. Already doing damage control.
Wow, that's, see, W Groypers. God bless the Groypers.
Fentanyl is good for you. Sent $2,000. Sneeko fake crying on stream is actually fucking crazy, bro.
Right.
Holy posting your L's.
Thank you for the huge super chat. Appreciate it. Fentanyl is good for you. One of our donors. We love you, buddy. Dude, that was crazy. He's like, you need to look at this. And it's like some nigga crying. And then Sneeko starts crying. Look at this nigga crying. Bro's like, yeah. He's literally doing the world's funniest cry. Somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you. Yeah. Like he's literally doing the world's funniest cry. And, and Sneeko's like, you need to watch this. Watch this and tell me you don't cry. And it's some Muslim. And then Sneeko does this like fake cry where he's like, I can't even. Literally fake crying on the stream. I'll pull up. Do we have the clip? Yo, Jamie, do we have that clip? Yo, River Forest Groiper, we got that clip? Let me see. Do you remember that? Do you remember World's Funniest Cry? That's some OG YouTube lore. Yeah. You'll know what I'm talking about. I'll pull it up. Because I know somewhere deep down in my heart. That's some OG. That's like the original YouTube. That's some YouTube poop right there. All right. That's some YouTube poop. Okay, here. Check this out. Check this out. Look, this is Sneeko in the cut corner. Check this out. Check this out.
You need to watch this. You have to watch this. Don't look away.
Serious hat on. Serious hat on? You need to watch this nigga cry. This nigga crying will make you say fuck having borders and shit.
This is the shit after the Palestinians got bombed. They fucking, ooh, the guy was crying on camera. Crying on camera and shit. Looks pretty contrived to me.
And for all the people that are saying Iran does worse, this we can't ally with the... Wow. Listen.
What a fucking bitch. What a...
وانا روح يا عالم بالشهد الله يا عالم بكفي.
Dude, that is so
Dude, no.
Bro, that is so fucking fake. You know, people that are really suffering and struggling, you can see it. They don't have to exaggerate it and convince you that they're struggling and suffering. It's obvious. The guy's in a goddamn Land Cruiser, a Toyota Land Cruiser driving around. Bro, you're in a Land Cruiser. Obviously, you're not doing that bad. It's nicer than my fucking truck.
Oh, wait.
I love that laugh. That's a funny laugh.
The fake cry is actually insane.
Bro, Nick's laugh genuinely makes me smile. When he laughs like that, fuck, man, that deep ass, like, really hearty gut laugh. Oh, man, that shit makes me feel good. Like, when people laugh like that, it just kind of makes me smile and makes me want to laugh with them.
Look at that.
Hello.
Literally the most performative male of all time.
Bro, he went in on that so hard.
Chat,
Seriously.
look, I'm really sad and stuff. Chat,
Dude,
look,
he's
crying.
trying to hide a smile. Bro, that was a smile, bro. He was hiding a
بالشهد
smile.
الله يا عالم بكفي.
That shit is cringe. Bro, he was smiling. What the fuck?
Literally the fake cry.
That dude was literally smiling.
And then look at him like he's catching his breath.
Oh my god.
Erica Kirk, bro, is
him and that guy in the Land Cruiser, they should get a fucking Oscar for those. No, that guy in the Land Cruiser should get an Oscar or a Raspberry. And Nico should just get deported.
literally Erica Kirk, bro. Handkerchief, Time Person of the Year, Erica Kirk's handkerchief. Dude, can I just be the first to say it is obviously very sad what is happening in Palestine, but listen, we're tired of all the boohooing. Okay.
Dude, seriously.
These Muslims, they don't give a shit when white people are murdered by Muslims
Or
in Europe.
Africans.
When an 18-year-old young man was stabbed to death in Europe in cold blood and handcuffed as he was bleeding out on the street, you know what Sneeko said? Sneeko said, thank God it's not a Muslim, because imagine how much Islamophobia. That's the Muslim mentality. That's literally their mentality.
Well, all they can think of is themselves. They see somebody else getting hurt, suffering. They say, oh, thank God that's not me. They literally cannot empathize with other people. They can't put themselves in your shoe, nor do they want to put themselves in your shoes. All they can think is, oh, how relieving it is that I'm me. Thank God I'm me and not you. Pretty disgusting. And, that's why they live in shithole countries and they're at the bottom of the barrel where IQ is concerned. Down there with fucking Chad and Guinea and Benin and fucking Lesotho or Chile or one of those, Brazil, one of these fucking tarred countries.
Muslims kill people, Muslim rape people, Muslims invade these countries, take up space.
Hey, they have sex with goats, their nieces, their cousins.
And they're always defending it. They're always defending it. Well, it's not all of us. Oh, well, that's a Zionist ob. Well, blah, blah, blah. And then, look, let's just be honest. They're over there. They're losing the war. They're getting slaughtered. It's not humane what's going on. But then they want to show these crying faces to all of us in the West and browbeat us. Be sad, feel something, be emotional. Look at this atrocity.
Bro, they only do that because we fucking fall for it. Bro, if we didn't fall for that shit, you would not see people acting like that on cameras and shit because it would do them no good. They do that. They act and they exaggerate and they play the victim because we're fucking suckers, bro. Straight up. The West, a bunch of fucking ducks, man.
Atrocity propaganda. And you go, you know what? I'm not falling for it. I don't want to fight Israel's wars, but it's got nothing to do with crying people in the third world. There's a lot of sad people in the third world. But those people aren't crying for us. Those people ain't crying for our kids. Sneeko's not crying for our people. This person in Palestine, he's not crying for us. They don't care. Now, we're better because we're Christians, so we pray for our enemies. We don't wish that Allah will kill all of them. As Christians, we're better.
Look, we have pathological empathy, and they have no empathy. We're two extremes. Maybe the Asians got it right because they seem to have kind of like best of the both worlds. But the Muslims, the Arabs, the Africans, the South Americans, they have no empathy, and we have too much empathy. We're all declining pretty much because of that.
Than Muslims, because Christians love everybody, love even their enemies, even the non-believers. That's what makes us better.
We love them so much that we're dying from it. We're literally being genocided because we love them so much. It's funny, Nick, he'll complain about how we're being genocided, but he won't lay it at the feet of where it belongs. Some of the blame belongs at the feet of the West and good Christians like Nick and Billy Graham.
God is our father, not our master. We believe that the essence of God is love, not slavery. That's why we are better. That's why Christianity is better than...
Doesn't look like it at the moment. Not so as I can tell. It looks like we're getting our asses handed to us. We're being fucking routed.
Islam, and always will be. So we can feel sorry for them, and I feel bad for them, and I pray for them. But enough with this. Sneeko gets done saying he wishes every infidel gets killed. Sneeko gets done saying, I want all infidels to be killed. If white people die, it's their own fault. If white people die, well, thank God it's not a Muslim, because then there'll be no Islamophobia. So blow it out your ass. Chat, look at this.
Is that not fucking crazy? Like, bro, there'll be no Islamophobia. there's still people dying, bro. Like, what difference does it make if they're Muslims or if they're Asians or Europeans or what? Like, yeah, there are people dying, or do you make a distinction between the two? Are only people that fucking believe in their bearded Mohammedan god human beings? Is that the deal here? Sneeko? Maybe we should just fucking go rouse Sneeko up out of his fucking bed and string his ass up from a lamppost.
Chad, watch this guy cry. And look at me cry. Tears of a clown. Tears of a clown when there's no one around, pal.
The clowns.
What a fucking fag, dude. The fake cry, like, he's honestly the worst. I'm embarrassed we were ever friends. This guy is like the biggest faker of all time.
Bro, then why do you keep,
literally, look at this.
Why does he keep jogging his nuts? He's literally sucking Sneeko off right here. Like, oh, let me give Sneeko some more publicity. Like glucking 9,000. This guy's little half-breed pecker.
Really? I mean, you are the fakest person alive walking the earth right now.
It sounds like a Wookiee.
Is it not the fake cry? Really, bro? Really? Nana.
I like Nick's laugh.
Monkey
That
wanna
shit cracked
nana.
me up, bro. Guttural laugh. Whoa.
Literally.
Whoa.
Literally. Most
All I could think of right there was that meme where the guy, or the gif where the hot dogs slap the girl. Bro, like 20 hot dogs, boom, bounce off of Sneeko's face.
Dude, just get real. Stop faking shit. Yeah, straight up. Sunyan. That's a photo. That's a real photo. Grok, is that real? Grok, is this real?
Oh man, that is fucking
Grok,
funny.
is that
Wow,
Dude,
bro. Wow.
That's crazy. Grok, is that real? Anyway, so yeah, dude, the
Bigger
fake
chunks
cry
of
was
corn in my
actually
crap than
insane. I
you.
thought he was a performative clown before. Now the fake cry.
Yappenheimer sent $20. What are the two countries that start with the letter A but don't end in the letter
Sneeko
A?
truly is an art.
Oh, we've done this one before,
He's a
haven't we?
Riri.
We've done this. Let me think. It's I feel like we already did it. Azerbaijan and what's the other one? Azerbaijan and let's think. Let's put on our thinking caps. I feel like I've done this one before. What was it? It's not Algeria, not Andorra, not Argentina.
On fire. Clearly ascended.
Yeah, that's it. Anywho, yeah, I am trying to do the call-in thing. I just got caught up in trying to fucking my Windows, my copy of Windows today. Anywho, that's it for this evening, fellas. You guys weren't here for the beginning of the stream, any of you, you should catch that because I did like 20, 25 minutes before Nick came on. It was about all the eggplant playing for the European national soccer teams. France, like they have not one actual European on their fucking squads. Anywho, like Alex, those of you that missed it. Anywho, hope you all had a swell day and guys tomorrow. After USA versus Bosnia, how that goes. England's playing too.